What's up, everybody? What is going on? What is up? Well, Father's Day was yesterday, but happy Father's Day. I didn't go on the air yesterday, so I do gotta throw that out there. Gotta throw that out there. Going to talk about it a little bit today. Going to talk about a number of things. But shout out to everybody that's in the building. I see a few people making it on in. Make sure you hit the like button, whether you're catching it live or you're catching it after it's uploaded. Whether you're catching it live or you're catching it after it's uploaded. But with that all being said, let's get ready to go. Let's get it.
Peace, folks. This is X from TPOT Media. Open your mind and wake your black ass up. You know what time it is. Hit that damn like button as you make your way in the door. Grab a seat, settle in, get ready. It's the Grown Man Hour with your host, my man, Bernard Riley.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. You know who I am. I need no introduction, right? And you're listening to the Grown Man Hour with my man Bernard Riley, heard weekdays right here on YouTube. What do you think about that? How about that? Now let's get back on with the show. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? What's up, everybody? Where's my mouse? Shout out to everybody in the building. I know y'all was looking like, okay, where the hell is he at? Where the hell is he at? Let me do a sound check. Make sure I don't got a repeat of the last live show. Make sure I don't got a repeat of the last live show. But shout out to everybody in the building. We ain't on so early. We ain't on quite that early today, but shout out to the early bird squads, those of you that make it in bright and early before we even get things started. Appreciate each and every one of you just being jazzy podcast clips and crafty ideas in the building. Shout out to her, the Mac the Trucker in the building. He said Bernard on time, sort of. No, this wasn't on time. Emin Perry, shout out to you. Definitely shout out to you. Shout out to Red Scorpio in the building. E Capone, what's going on? Body Thug. Laughing Dog says, good morning, Mr. Riley and chat friends. Drop the D. I see what you did there. But anyway, you know, friends. Okay. Hope y'all had a great Father's Day weekend. Absolutely, absolutely. I forgot to bring my cup. I got a best dad ever cup. I forgot to bring it. I wanted to bring it to show it off. See Iron Attic in the building. Um, happy June. Any moderator, you can time Snuggles out. Don't block her. Just time him or her or whatever it is. Get it timed out into infinity and beyond. I'm trying to see if I could. Okay, good. I can get one in myself. Hold on. Oh shoot! I think I may have timed out Omega Dreads. Oh no, that was Snuggles. I got the. Okay, I got Snuggles. Okay, yeah. I keep keep her nice and timed out for a while. Everybody, every moderator listening, feel free to time her out 5 times at least, minimum. You can go a little overboard with 6 or 7 if you want to, but at least 5. At least 5 would be appropriate. Yeah. Laughing Dog said, my daughter gave me a bag that said best dad and a shirt. Do best dads have regions? No. It's not how it works. It's not how it works. But I got my mug. I meant to be drinking out of that today. I meant to be stunting on y'all drinking out of my best dad mug today, but I'll have to do it later. I have to do that at a later date. But I certainly will. I certainly will. Come on here. Come up in here stunting with my best dad ever cup. I will. I will certainly do so. But shout out to everybody in the building. Do appreciate each and every one of you as we get things started today. It's a number of things going on, number of things that I got to get into, coming on the heels of Father's Day. And I don't make a big production out of Father's Day. I know last year I got my stepdad a nice gift. I got my stepdad a nice gift last year. I didn't make a big production out of it this year. I didn't even think my kids was getting me something. Actually, my because kids will just not get you nothing unless like the other parent, engineers or facilitates it. And so my woman, I guess she facilitated them getting me some things. So she like snuck it in when I wasn't looking and got them to participate in getting me some things. So I got something for Father's Day. But overall, if you don't say nothing, the kids won't say nothing. They may say Happy Father's Day, but they ain't getting you shit. That's how it be. But we're about to get into a number of things. I got this here. Hold on. Where's it at? Hold up. Now I can't find what I'm looking for. Hold on, give me a minute. There we go. It was funny. I was sent this 50 Cent talking about it. And he echoes some of the sentiments that I feel, even though I'm not, super negative about Father's Day. I'm not negative about it at all. I think it's wonderful. It needs to be celebrated more. But he's going off on what it's actually about. I mean, how it's practiced, I'll say. He's going off on what it is in practice, and he's fairly accurate.
Father's Day is a holiday. It's not really a holiday. You know what I'm saying? Like that is like I show you how this, even by the commercials. Look at the commercials. They'll show you Father's Day. They show you a screwdriver, a power tool. Like go fix some. They want to see you to go fix it. You know what I'm saying? But then when Mother's Day come, be like Zales. Because you care.
Mm-hmm.
It be different, like you don't want diamonds. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll do it for their mother, but they ain't gonna do it for their father. Mother's Day comes, just getting flowers, cards, all kinds of, right? they get Father's Day. You get a text on Father's Day. That's it. You get a text. You get a text to make sure that you still know where you should send your check. So listen,
A lot of facts in there. A lot of facts in there. A lot of truth in that. A lot of truth in that. Yeah, see Hood Servative saying it's bittersweet. It is bittersweet for a lot of fathers. That's just a brute fact of reality. For a lot of fathers, it is bittersweet because it ends up being a sour reminder that you're not really appreciated that much. But that's part of, we're men. We don't care about being appreciated. We just do what we got to do because it need to be done. But yeah, but Father's Day ends up being that reminder. But I don't mean to be negative Nancy about it. But not negative Nancy, I hate that term. But shout out to the fathers. Shout out to the fathers, all the fathers. RM made a nice video acknowledging fathers, and she embodied the spirit of how I feel about it, how I wish Father's Day was looked at, viewed, and practiced. I actually shared that on my community tab, so check that out when you get a chance, because RM did a really good video talking about that. Not talking about it from the angle I'm talking about it. She just did a good video on Father's Day, and I thought it was nice. Thought it was cute. It was cute. It was real cute. So I shared it. So check that one out when y'all get a chance. But Father's Day is an interesting day for Black folks. It is an interesting day. Something that I talked about before. This is a question that was asked. It was asked to me. Is it because fathers have done less than mothers? Is that why the mothers get more appreciation on Mother's Day? That's the question that was put out there to me. Fathers in general has done less. That's why mothers get more appreciation on their day, and the dad gets a screwdriver with a gift bow wrapped on it or something like that. That was that was what was put out there. That's what was put out there, and my answer to that has been fairly consistent. From the very beginning. One of the first things not one of the first things I talked about when I started my channel, but it was one of the things that came up more or less. And keep in mind, I think this was before D Wade and Zaya Wade. I still want him to let that boy play in the WNBA. I do want to see that boy grow up with Dwayne Wade genetics, be 6'4", with a mean crossover and some hops, and be out and let him play in the WNBA and let him get out there and start dunking on them chicks. They letting trans women, biological males, compete in combat sports. Chicks out there getting power drived and punched out that they can get dunked on too. Let Zaya Wade in the WNBA. That's how I feel. That's where I'm at with that. But this is before all of this, so get all that controversy out of your head with D Wade's recent situation with Gabrielle Union. I've done some content on that. Get that situation out of your head and just look at it purely from this perspective. If you understand Dwayne Wade's story, he grew up with his mother. His mom and dad separated. They had their problems, they had their issues. The mom was on drugs. He grew up with the mom. Excuse me. Forgot my water bottle. Grew up with the mom who was doing heroin in front of him. She even said it in the interview. She was like, "Whoa, you actually saw me doing it. I had no idea that you knew I was doing that." And he basically was saying, like, yeah, she used to do it in front of me. That's the mom he grew up with. His older sister had the wherewithal. 108 people in here. Make sure y'all hit that like button for me. Hit that like button. Hold me down on the likes. Let's get it. But his older sister had the wherewithal when Dwayne Wade was, 12-ish, 10-ish, 11-ish, somewhere in that age range, somewhere in there. She had the wherewithal to get him out of that situation and take him to go live with his dad. She basically just pulled one of them numbers. His older sister, she probably was, 16, old enough to drive. I don't know. But she just basically just put him in a car, drove him to his dad's house, let him out, honked the horn. Like, take him. He got to get out of there. He got to get out of there. And his dad raised him. and his dad was remarried. His dad had, like 4 other sons. So he grew up, he was basically from that moment on, he was raised by his dad. Wasn't a basketball player, but he was the youngest of the brothers. So, he went out there, started playing basketball with them. The dad and the sons out there playing basketball. That's how he learned how to play basketball. That's how he learned how to hoop. Shout out to Theo in the building. All the mods put Snuggles in timeout. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She came in here on some nonsense. We had to get her out of here. Go ahead and scroll back up and get you one in too, Theo. Oh, yeah. That person you want me to unblock so you can block them? I got you. I forgot to do it. I will get on that. I try to. I remind myself to do it this week. I got you, Theo. I got you. Don't say who. But I got you, Theo. I got you. I'm gonna unblock them, let them rock out, so you can do the honors. That was something we talked about in Philly. he asked me to unblock a particular person. We're not gonna say who. He asked me to unblock a particular person just so he could do the honors of blocking them. All right. So yeah, that's I got you, Theo. I got you. But yeah, like I was saying, Dwayne Wade's mom doing heroin in front of him. Don't get worse than that. Sister had the wherewithal to just take him and drop him off at his daddy house. Pushing him out the car, honked the horn, drove off. You got it raising. The dad raising him. He had 4 other sons over there. They out there playing basketball. He said, D Wade said he was a little soft, but when he got there around his brothers and his dad, they roughened and toughed him up. He learned how to play basketball. And it's kind of like that with the younger brother. Even if you ain't got the raw skills, if it's you the youngest out there competing against your older brothers, you're going to end up being the best because you had to compete against older siblings. So he ended up being the best. He ended up, being a, top prospect in high school, ended up going to Marquette, ended up, had played 3 years at Marquette. His mom was in jail during a lot of that time. During a lot of that time, the mom was either in jail or in and out of jail. So the mom, get this, never saw him play in high school, never saw him play in college. Didn't see him play in college until like his last 2 games at Marquette. When he made it to the Final Four, she saw that game. That's when she really, got to see him play finally. That's when she finally got to see D Wade play. But other than that, she was not in his life. He was raised by his father. He was absolutely raised by his father. Theo in the building with a $100 super chat. He says, just a little coin so you remember to unblock that person. That was my evil laugh. I don't know if your laugh was evil, but that's how I saw it. That's how I read it. Shout out to Theo in here dropping heavy-handed super chats on me. I do appreciate it. In fact, oh yeah, and that reminds me too. I gotta reignite or SKC sent me a special intro greeting for you. I gotta remake it so it don't get a copyright strike. I keep forgetting to do everything, but I got you on that too. But shout out to you for dropping a $100 super chat on it. Shout out to you. Appreciate Theo. Definitely appreciate you. I'm gonna get into the main topic in a little bit. Yeah, chill out. D Wade has Captain Save Him syndrome. His mom was in distress, so now he's extra sensitive to women in distress. Oh man, get out of there. You explaining a lot what's going on, what happened later in his life, but we ain't about to even get into that. The story I'm telling don't even end with his son being in a dress and him being with Gabrielle Union, who's a decade older than him, and there's some weird stuff going on over there. But we ain't even getting into that. We talking about how that his dad basically salvaged him and made him into a man who made it to the NBA. He said before he moved in with his dad, he wasn't a ball player and he was soft. His dad made him into what he was. His mom was doing heroin in front of him. He got drafted. She never saw one of his basketball games until he was in the Final Four at Marquette. That's when she finally saw one of his games. Now, him and his dad fell out in his senior year. They didn't really fall out. He just had to get out of there because even though his dad taught him how to play basketball, had him around his brothers, they got that softness out of him, made him tough, made him a ball player who can, go D1. His dad had some little problems. His dad was married, and him and his dad and his dad's wife, I guess D Wade's stepmom, there was a little domestic violence in the house too. All right, there was some domestic violence in the house. I don't want to downplay it. However, y'all know how we do over here. Y'all know how we do over here. We go right to that data. Now they reported it like it was like they said it was abusive only on, they made it sound like it was abusive only on D Wade's dad's end, but we know the data on this. It is a good chance. It is a good chance that it was mutual combat. A real good chance that it was mutual combat. That's what the stats show. That's what the stats show. So let's just we ain't about to dig deep into that today. We ain't about to dig deep into that data today, but we know how that works. We know how that goes. All right. We know how that works. We know how that goes. But either way it go, he was a senior in high school. He was a top prospect recruit for D1 colleges. In the situation his dad and his stepmom had, it was a toxic situation. It was some domestic violence. So he moved out of there and moved in with his girlfriend who he had a baby by. So it was all around messed up situation. He moved in with his girlfriend and her mom. He had a baby by the girlfriend. He moved in with her and her mom, and that's where he lived his senior year. That's where he finished his senior year in high school. Went to Marquette. The whole time at Marquette, no communication with his dad. All right. Made it to the NBA. Now, keep in mind, well, no, I don't know if he didn't have no communication with his dad. I just know on draft day. The dad was not there. Who was there? The mom that did heroin in front of him. So when they said with the 4th pick in the NBA draft, the Miami Heat selects Dwayne Wade, that mom was right there, got the big hug and the kiss that washed away all the sins. Where was his dad? He never talked to his dad until like his 10th year in the NBA. That's so the situation he had going on with his dad, where basically it was a toxic environment where the dad wasn't doing nothing wrong to him or the sons, but the dad and his wife, they had a contentious relationship, and that was it. That was his dad's only crime. Had a contentious relationship, a little bit of domestic violence that they was even vague about, to the point to where it sounded like it was both ways. That was a crime that his dad did. And he couldn't be there and didn't talk to him for 10 years. But the mom who was doing heroin in front of him got the big hug and kiss on draft day to wash away all the sins. It wasn't until he spent 10 years in the NBA, when he's in the NBA Finals, the Miami Heat, this was him and LeBron James, they linked up, they're in NBA Finals, they're about to win a championship on one of the days of the game. Some of the details of the story may not be exactly right, but more or less, it's pretty much accurate that he was supposed to be picking his son up from the airport. His son never showed up at the airport. The baby mama was playing games. And he's sitting there, he trying to focus up the biggest game of his life, about to potentially win a championship, and she playing games. He don't know her. He out there on the court, don't know where his kid's at. She ain't communicating. He just know his son didn't show up at the airport, and it was all because she was playing all kind of games. And then once he got to that point where he was so gone from that situation right there, this was before he got custody of his sons. This was before he went and fought for custody of his sons. That was when he finally reconnected with his dad. Like, he had to become damn near 30 years old, live life as a man, experience long story short, and I hate to put it like this, he had to experience some shit where he went through some shit where he got driven to that point where, you know what? I'm about ready to hit this bitch too. Let me go talk to my dad. Because I thought my dad was this monster. I thought my dad was this monster, because of what I saw going on with him and the stepmom. But then once a woman drove him to that point, then it's like, then he finally reconnected with his dad. He had to win an NBA championship, conquer Mount Everest of manhood, have all those real problems before he finally could have a heart-to-heart talk with his dad. But the mother before he could finally have a heart-to-heart talk with his dad about the things that drove them apart, but the mother who smoked heroin in front of him got the red carpet rolled out, got to beat her on draft day, got to hug and the kiss on draft day that washed away all the sins, and she was just the perfect mom. She was, she was just a perfect mom. But he had to go live that much life to connect with the man who actually raised him, who's the reason why he's in the NBA. He couldn't talk to him, couldn't communicate with him, couldn't be there for him, they couldn't, be there for each other. They couldn't do none of that. They couldn't have a relationship. They couldn't have a bond. Like that literally happened. It happened that way. Like, dude, it's a documentary on D-Wade. You could look it up. It's probably on YouTube. You could look it up. And it happened just like that. Oh, he bought his mom a church. He bought his mom a church. He bought the parent who smoked heroin in front of him a church. Like, he did that. I ain't even knocking that. But what I'm saying is, whatever problems his dad had, I would say they were minuscule to the parent who smoked heroin in front of you and was in and out of prison over it. I would say they were minuscule at best. But those minuscule problems had him not able to speak to his dad for more than a decade. It's like we have to live life and go through some stuff and get to the age in our life where our dad was at the moment where we thought he was so bad and we realized he wasn't. Like that's what it's like. So I'm saying all this on the heels of Father's Day. Father's Day was yesterday. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. And that's what it's like for dads. People grow up, live life, and then finally realize, oh, my dad was valuable to me. My dad mattered to me. He made a difference in my life. But mom, it's just automatic. It's just automatic, Conservative Culture and Politics Review says, I couldn't understand my dad until you became a father. Oh, that man an apology. Yeah. So I'm glad that D-Wade did man up and finally reach back out to his father, who made him into a man and is the reason why he got him in the NBA. But he ain't manning up with Gabrielle Union putting his son in a dress. But that's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother issue right there. But happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And I'm mad I didn't bring my special Father's Day cup that they got for me. I'm glad I didn't bring it. happy about my cup. God damn it! I wanted to come in here stunting and flossing on y'all with my cup. Yeah, all day. But yeah, man. But no, we got a number of things to get into today. The topic on the table: how Simps ruined manhood. We're going to be getting deep into that. I got a few clips in the chamber ready to go of some simped out pander bears talking about a thing or two. So we about to be getting into a number of things. But excuse me. But in general, the main thing that I always try to say with men, we make sure when any of your dealings with women, because I said this before, that what I do on my show, and for some reason I feel like I got to keep reiterating this, I tend to give social commentary on just the varying social dynamics between black men and black women, and break it down, pick it apart, talk about it, and with the hopes that men bare minimum will walk away with a better mindset in their overall dealings with women. And I like to pick apart all the bullshit that they say about men, particularly all the bullshit they say about black men. I like to pick that apart and flip it on his head and try to get a more accurate picture of the truth out there to the masses. That's typically what I like to do. That's typically what I do on my channel. Social commentary on the social dynamics between black men and black women, as it typically pertains to dating, mating, relationships, but really just overall interactions. Between the two. That's what I like to do. That's what I tend to do on my channel. Tend to do breakdowns of that. Snuggles is back. Don't get yourself timed out again. We won't be so nice next time. It won't be so nice next time. We won't be so nice to have all the moderators time you up 5 times. And that was at the beginning of the show when there was only 50 people in here. If you do something bad now when there's 150 people in here, that means there's going to be more moderators to come get you. That means there's going to be more people swinging at your neck. And yes, RM's tribute to fathers. I shared that on my community tab. Really good video, really good video. Highly recommend you check that one out. It was done really well, done really well. And as Gerard Bigotry, as Gerard Bigotry says, get the likes up. Get the likes up. And what do we got here? What am I doing? Okay, nope, not that, not that. That's not it. There it is. Got a number of things to get into. I don't know if it's a coincidence. I really don't know. But I don't know if the Panda Bears and Simps have come out stronger in full force with the passing of Kevin Samuels. I don't know if that's the case. I honestly don't know. But I do know this. I've been seeing more of them sprout up. I've been seeing more women, more women trying to hold the line. I made a video cracking jokes about them, and some people didn't take too kindly to that. I was shocked at how y'all was coming from. Well, not y'all, but it might have been different people. It might have been people from Melanie King channel who just took it like I was hating, but it was more so just it was a snippet from a live stream show that was more so fun, where I took the line that Jay-Z said about Biggie, you know. I do a big verse. I'm only bigging up my brother, not a biter. I'm a biter. Not I'm a writer, not a biter. You know, because everybody say he be biting off Biggie. You know, when he be using a lot of Biggie lines. He used so many of them that I don't. He used more of Biggie Smalls lines than what you think. Just flat out, he used more of Biggie Smalls lines than what you think. It's so many lines that Jay-Z said. Like in Renegade, when he was like, I chose my own fate. I came to the fork in the road and went straight. You know, I thought that was his line. It was one of the best lines in that verse, but it wasn't even his. I was like, oh. Like that was Biggie. I was like, man. And then so when like Melanie King using Kevin Samuels' lines, I said what Jay-Z basically said about Biggie, you know. I'm not a biter. I'm a writer for myself and others. I do a big verse. I'm only bigging up my brother. You know, I said she do a Kevin Samuels verse. She only bigging up her brother. I thought it was funny, but people took offense by that. The comment section was a little mad. Comment section was a little mad. It was like, hey, you find out who's in power if I find out who you can't criticize. I was like, damn, I guess. No, get out of there, Dirt Low. Jay-Z is the truth, man. I rock with Jay-Z. I can't wait for him to drop another one, that 444 album. I don't even listen to rap that much, but I listen to Jay-Z. Like that's, you know, I couldn't even make it. I only made it through half of Kendrick Lamar's album. I tried, got through half of it, didn't even go back. I don't even think I'm gonna try with Drake. And I like a lot of stuff Drake do. I ain't gonna even try with Drake. Kanye, I will live. Kanye drop an album, I will listen to the whole. Kanye and Jay-Z are some of the only ones that when they drop an album, you can guarantee I'm gonna listen to the whole thing. Yeah, so I don't even go that. I don't even listen to rap that much like that. But I rock with Jay-Z. I do rock with Jay-Z. I do rock with Jay-Z, but yeah. Oh, and join the members. Join channel membership is now open. Hit the hit join membership has its privileges. The privileges, and really the only privilege of being a member or a Patreon is that most, if not all, of my live shows go immediately to Patreon. So if you miss them, the only way to catch them is to be a channel member or a Patreon. And as you know, on my live shows, crazy things tend to happen, like what happened on my last live show. And I wasn't going to address it, but I stumbled into it. I'll just say this. Gay men, and I reiterate a lot of what Game Changers said. Game Changers did a live stream about it. That's on his members. I'm a member of Game Changers. Yeah, I should be too. Um, gay men, as far as I'm concerned, have no place here. You know, if somebody said gay men need not apply, I'm like, apply to do what? Like, what is if we're talking about here situations, relationships, interactions, or just all the social dynamics between black men and black women, a gay man has nothing to do with that. So it's nothing that a gay person can offer to this space. I mean, I'm sorry. No, let me rephrase that. I'm not sorry. It's just a brute fact of what it is. It's just brute fact of reality. It is nothing that it is. No, it's just a hard no. Like there was a little meme going around. I don't even know who it was. They was like, immediately no, immediately no. I saw all I needed to see and immediately no. Like that's how I feel about that. All right. That's how I feel about that. It's no there's no way around that. There's no if ands or buts about that. There's no way. There's no reason to even enter. Excuse me. There's no reason to even entertain that conversation. There's no reason to even entertain that conversations. And nobody, thug, it's not good fences. It's more like we're on separate planets. Not a good fence. It's not a neighbor. It's like it's not even. I mean, I'll say in the same in the same galaxy. Maybe not even in the same star system. So you don't need to put up a fence for that. It's like we're in separate star systems and light travel has not been invented. All right, let's see if somebody need to get timed out. Whenever I see a rainbow emoji, somebody's potentially timed out. He says the rainbow gang don't apply, so let them fly over there in their own corner. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Pastor speaking on why he pulled the plug. I'm not a member, so I missed the sauce. So you better get here early. Yeah. Yeah, you ain't a member. You better be here early when he says good galaxies make good neighbors. Yeah. Yeah. But the thing is, intergalactic space travel or light travel or wormholes have not even been invented yet. So it's not even a neighboring type of deal. No. Far as I'm concerned, no good galaxies make good neighbors. It's like, yeah, if it's put it like this, if it's aliens in a galaxy far, far away, I don't know what their problems are, and their problems ain't got nothing to do with with me. Especially as far as channels and channels like mine, like channels like my channel or channels like mine, I should say. Channels like mine, it has nothing to do with it. So that's where I'm at with that. So yeah, that was some that was some yeah. That's where I'm at with that. I didn't want y'all to think that I wasn't taking a position on that. No, I'll make that very clear. I'll make that very, very clear. That's an immediate no. That's a hell to the no. That's a hell no. We won't go. And yeah, that's where I'm at with that. But anyway, this dude here, this guy here is on something I'm talking. This dude here is on some simp stuff, and I'm gonna roll the not so beautiful bean footage and gonna break down and pick apart some of the sympatry, even though he did say something that kind of made sense, but it's the pandering. It's the pandering that I pick apart that I have a problem with. It is a hardcore pandering that I pick apart that I have a problem with. Is it plants a bunch of, it inceptions a bunch of stupid stuff in the minds of women and the men who aren't even converted to our way of thinking. Our way of thinking, where a man should be firm, stern, stand on your square, and the woman that rock with you is going to be at a woman that complies to whatever it is that you're trying to do. The woman that's going the woman that you're going to deal with, or the women that you're going to deal with, whether you're doing a relationship, or you just got a few chicks. The ones that you're going to end up dealing with are the ones that are going to have to fit you like a glove, not you trying to bend, change, contort yourself to them. That's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm going to always be at with it. But let's hear some of this not so beautiful being footage, even though it's something in here. It's something in here. But let's react to it. Let's go.
I don't know who need to hear this, but stop telling women to get out their feelings. That shit is toxic as fuck.
Okay, I don't know who tells women to get out their feelings. I don't know if that's where the pander come in. That's what a lot of them do. It's like it's manipulation in all of their videos. All the ones that's in that Derek Jackson ilk. It's manipulation in all their videos where they set up a premise that's not really a premise. Where it's like it's just an army of men telling women to get out of their feelings. If anything, it's an army of women telling women to get out of their feelings. I forgot the name of that song. Something. Don't give a fuck about it. Okay, I can't remember the lyrics because I don't listen to that shit. But we know their music. We know what they talking about. They talking about being, hardcore, dogmatic, and pragmatic, and don't care. They talking about not having feelings and getting to the point of just getting what they got to get up out of the situation. Making sure that a dude serve your benefit. They're really talking the same way that I was just talking. Like when I said, make sure they fit you like a glove. That's really how a lot of the chicks talking. But again, that's in their music and in their social media and all of that. That's what we can hear. But I don't see an army of dudes telling women to get out of their feelings. I don't know where he conjured that up from. That I just don't know. Brother X in the building says, could you plug this for me later? What is that? Is that I did see something about you doing an Obsidian versus a world. I'll plug it now. But look, if that Obsidian versus a world thing that you're doing is on the stuff that he said at the end of my last live stream, I'm sorry, I want no part of that. I'll plug it now. Make sure y'all go check out X. He gonna have an bruh. I don't know what to do with that one, man. I can't entertain. I can't entertain. Oh my goodness. But yeah, if that's what it is. Yeah, go check it out. Yeah, go check it out. Cause I can't get jiggy with that. If that's what's about to be debated, then no. A camera is blocking the comment section. That's why y'all keep seeing me doing like this. But I think there will be one of those Obsidian versus World going on Brother Xavier. I think so. Go support Brother Xavier over there. I mean, it might be a barn burner, it might be entertaining, but I if he's talking about that shit, I got to make it clear I ain't standing next to that shit. I don't, the meetup in Philly, the Meetup City Nally experience in Philly, it was an excellent event. It was excellent, and I, when I went in there, because I spoke like after Theo got done doing his IT training, that's when I came in to speak. But I was in there early and I was watching. I thought, it was 30 brothers in there getting some life-changing training, and that's a beautiful thing. And that's what those events are about. And Theo told me one thing. He said that the having the event sort of weeds out the serious people, the people that are willing to get on a plane, train, automobile, whatever the hell, and make it there to the event. Those are the ones he know that's serious, that's going to take the course all the way through to the end. Those are the ones. And so I was sitting there thinking like, man, there's a way to optimize this without doing the events. We could use our platforms, we could advertise, and then we could just send people to your class, and it could be all online, and we can get more efficient and get more brothers on that path. But Theo liked to do it with the events. He liked his students. He liked to be able to see them, meet them, greet them all in person, and start there. And the ones that come there are serious. And these events is what I think it's really one of the best things that the Black Manosphere has done, and that's use our platforms to try to funnel people into making it to those events and getting the IT training and becoming one of Theo's students. And it's a lot of them who are in position. I actually met one of them who was at the last event, who's making like 150K right now. I actually met him, and like, man. So wonderful things are happening. Wonderful things are happening. So things like that, yeah, I gotta support something like that. But that shit that was said at the end of my show, I can't get jiggy with that. I can't get jiggy with that. But shout out to brother Xavier. He's taking it over there, and yeah. Shout out to brother Xavier for even taking that on. But all right. Let's get into this though. Let's get into the video.
Especially when you tell them get out their feelings after.
All right, yeah. It started out he's saying, what is all this telling women to get out of their feelings, as if there's a bunch of men telling women to get out their feelings. So he start with the manipulation of talking about something that doesn't even exist as if it does exist, and then going forward from there. He's building his argument on a faulty, shaky premise. This is what they do a lot of the time, because the women, when they hear it, they don't question whether or not this is actually a thing. They just say, "Oh yeah. They just nod and agree with it because it's pandering to them." But they really ain't saying nothing.
Stop.
Really ain't saying nothing. But all the simping and pandering, it puts men in the weak position. But let's go.
I don't know who need to hear this, but stop telling women to get out their feelings. That shit is toxic as fuck. Especially when you tell them get out their feelings after sex. Like, nigga, what? Women were literally created to have feelings. We were all created to have feelings. But you're gonna tell me that we just exchanged this strong ass energy. You're gonna tell me get out my feelings? Because you don't want to deal with them. You was man enough to have sex, but you ain't man enough to deal with the emotions after sex. Like, look.
Now, it's a halfway good point in there. This is where I said he makes a halfway good point. This is where I said he makes a halfway good point. But see, here's the catch. If women want to be single and free, women, like, put it like this, hookup culture is a two-way thing. All right? Hookup culture is a two-way thing. It's called hookup culture. It's not called men manipulate women into having sex with them culture. It's literally called hookup culture. If people are hooking up and then one side is getting all in their feelings afterwards, because women, they will get in their feelings after sex more than men. Women will get in their feelings after sex more than men. If they can't handle that, that is a personal problem. If two people got together on the grounds of hooking up in a hookup culture, and if they can't manage their emotions afterwards, that is a them problem. That is a them problem. And maybe that's their biology and their nature telling them that they ain't built for this. We built for it. Well, some men not. Because men do get attached and get emotional and fall in love. And we're going to get into that, how men be marrying for love and women be marrying for other reasons. We're going to get into that. But if they're trying to be out there conducting themselves in a hookup culture kind of way, and then they have sex and they have some good sex, and then they get in their feelings, and now this man who they got with on the grounds of hooking up, now he's supposed to respond to them in an emotional way as if they got together on the grounds of building a long-lasting relationship. That's essentially what he's saying. He's basically saying, if you hook up with a hoe, now you're responsible for that hoe. And I ain't even talking about if you got her pregnant. He's just saying, if you hook up with a hoe, you had sex with a hoe, and then now if she got emotionally attached, you're responsible. Like, no. Maybe that's female. Maybe that's the woman's nature telling her, you ain't built for this game that they sold you. Maybe that's what it is. Now, a lot of them are built for it. A lot of them, they do what they got to do and get up and get out. I told y'all, it was a woman that I was, hooking up with, and I, look, I ain't embarrassed to say this. I kind of started liking her. Liking her in the sense that in the post-sex pillow talk, found out, hey, we got a lot in common. And we was both, I think I told this story before. It was a movie coming out, a part 2 to a movie, and part 1 was real good. And we was talking about that movie for a long time and talking about how part 2 was coming out. And I was like, hey, let's go see that part 2. She got flaky on me. She didn't want to, we had never, other than the time that we met out in public, she had never been nowhere in public with me. Never. We met out in public one time. She came to my house. We'll be talking about that in a little bit because it's a guy, another simp and pander bear that was saying, never invite a woman to your house on the first date. And I'm like, but anyway, I oh shoot, I don't want to get off course, but hold on. He said hookup culture is men low-key manipulating women for sex. No, it's not. But women be conflating who they F for sport versus who they are looking for long-term relationships / marriage. Okay, the second part of what you said sort of flies in the face of the first part of what you said. That they be conflating who they have sex with for sport. Like that's what hookup culture is, people having sex for sport. Now, there is an aspect of it, and I've been guilty of this, that don't ask, don't tell. She didn't say she was looking for a long-term relationship. She didn't put that on the table. I didn't say nothing about it. I just started pursuing her. We went out a few times. I was pursuing her. We ended up having sex without discussing any terms and conditions. And then I guess how she felt after the sex made her then say, wait a minute, I thought we were going somewhere. Well, what if the sex was bad? Would you still be on some? Well, I thought we were going somewhere. Like you came this far without even discussing any terms and conditions. So don't make it seem like it's terms and conditions now. That's what I said. They ain't built for it. Some of them, they act like they are, and some of them are, but some of them, they not built for it. But the whole hookup culture, the aspect of it that is hookup culture, I disagree. That's not men manipulating women for sex. Like these women are single, happily, proudly single, and happily want to have sex. And like you said, they have sex with some men for sport. They have sex with some men for sport, and they have sex with some men who they wanted a relationship from. But the men that they did want a relationship from, if they end up not getting that relationship, then it gets flipped as it was a manipulation on his part, which it can be, but overwhelmingly, they are signing up for it. They are signing up for the game. They are willful participants of a game that they emotionally can't handle. Now, those that can, they be winning. Ain't no way around that. Those that can handle it, they be winning. They be going in tactical and strategic and getting what they want out of the situation, whether it's just sex from this dude or money from this dude or this from that dude or whatever. They go in and they win. But those that can't handle it, that ain't built for it, they get in their fifis. They get in their fifis after the sex. So going back to what I was saying about the woman who we was just hooking up. Never got together in public. Always to my house. I don't even know where. I never knew where this woman lived. She always came to my house. She drove her car to my house. We had sex. We laid there. We chilled. We kicked it and talked for a little bit. Through the midst of all that talking after sex, found out we had a lot of common. And I was trying to take her to a movie, and she got flaky. She got flaky as hell. So I was like, damn, I guess me and her through. 2 weeks went by. I guess after that movie got old, I went and saw it by myself. I didn't care. After that movie got old, she started hitting me up to come back over, and we just resumed hooking up. That's a woman who's built for it. That's a woman who keep her emotions out of it. That's a woman who ain't want no part of nothing, going out to the movies and doing something lovey-dovey. She ain't want no part of that shit. So I was like, okay, cool. It's something like that. But then it's some who ain't, who they just ain't. They, oh, cut it out. Nah, she wouldn't. I'm confident that she wouldn't, but hell, you never know. You never know. but but yeah. But yeah. Hopefully I made my point. I lost where I was at. Let's get back on this. He's saying telling women to get out their feelings is okay. Well, that's just a stupid statement. I don't even want to repeat. Hold on, I was reading.
Tell me get out my feelings because you don't want to deal with them. You was man enough to have sex, but you ain't man enough to deal with the emotions after sex. Like look in yourself and check yourself and take accountability of the monsters you are creating. You like women are so masculine, so masculine. They be
Now that's again, he's blaming men for creating the monsters that are the women. Who again, if women were wearing it on their sleeves that and actually doing it in practice, saying that we want a relationship. This is the only way and the only terms and conditions of which we will engage in sexual activity. It must be in the context of a relationship or in the context of a situation that's progressing towards a relationship. If they consistently acted and operated like that, and guys consistently pretended as if that's not what they were looking to do, or guys consistently pretended like they were looking to do that, and then as soon as they got to sex, it was like, haha, I gotcha, and they out, then he could have an argument. But seeing as women are perfectly fine with having casual sex with who they want to have casual sex with, seeing as they play that game, they can't then turn around. They can't then turn around and say you're creating that monster. They're willing participants in hookup culture. Again, like I said, hookup culture is not men manipulating women culture. It's called hookup culture. The only way it can be hookup culture is if both parties are complicit. So for that reason, you can't blame men for how women are feeling. Listen, I mean, we be talking a lot about the free love movement and sexual revolution. That was the original slut walks, all the way into the Amber Rose slut walks, were all the way into these sexually liberated women who want to do what they want to do when they want to do it, how they want to do it, and then they're finding out that yeah, this is fun, but sometimes they feelings can't handle it. That's what they finding. That's what and now he's trying to retroactively make their nonsense make sense. That's what he's doing with his simping and his pandering. But the women are the willing participants, willing participants in this. Overall, the men at the top who can have a rotation, a lot of them are happy with how it is. But by and large, men would be happy if it was 1-to-1. I know a lot of people don't believe that. But tell that to the 30% of men between the age of 18 to 29 who reported having no sex in the last year. Tell that to the high percentage of men who ain't getting no action. And tell that to the high percentage of men who can only get action in the context of a relationship. I would say that's probably the majority. That's probably the majority. So those men, yeah, they would rather it not be 5 women in a rotation of one guy that they all really like. No, they would rather those women be divvied up and spread out. That's how it was. That's what women fought against. That's what women fought against. And now they're in the outcome and aftermath of having their freedom to do what they want to do when they want to do it, how they want to do it. And some of them can't handle it. And those that can't handle it, they got this simping panda bear dude trying to say that no, they can't handle it. So if you hook up with a chick and then she get emotionally wrapped up in her feelings afterwards, you are now responsible for that woman's feelings that she had. And this is where we got to shout out ARC. You're only responsible if you did a full-blown mode 3 lie, a full-blown absolute mode 3 lie. And what I mean by that, the shout out to ARC, if you full blown, flat out, 100% looked her in the eyes and lied to her and said, yes, I am interested in a long-term, committed, emotionally profound relationship, and I'm looking to have that with you. I'm progressing forward with this, hoping to have that with you. And then she proceeds forward with you under those terms and conditions and have sex with you, and then you turn around with a gotcha bitch and get up out of there, then yeah, then you are responsible. I definitely concede that much. You are responsible for the feelings of this monster you created at that point. Well, no, you ain't responsible for her feelings. Her feelings is her feelings, but you did help create that monster. If she turn around, if she just cold and unemotional and just on some whatever type shit when it come to men, yeah, you help create that monster. I'll concede that point. But you ain't responsible. You don't. I mean, yeah. I mean, you did what you did and you moved on, and we could just say, okay, yeah, you kind of you lied to her, you kind of did her dirty, but oh well. But they can rightfully point out that okay, you did something that was you lied to her and did her dirty. They can accurately say that. But that's not what he's doing. He's trying to say that you did her dirty if y'all hooked up and she got emotions after the hookup, even though there were no terms and conditions laid out. Y'all just hooked up. Y'all just met and y'all hooked up and she got emotional after the sex. No, that you can't throw that at the feet of men. You can't throw that at the feet of men. They signing up to play that game. If they can't handle it, they need not play.
Because you told them to get out their fucking feelings. So now creating, you like women are so masculine, so masculine. They because you told them to get out their fucking feelings. So now when they have sex with you, they're like, I don't have any feelings because you trained that monster to do that. Now they have to heal from that. So you heal and you take accountability.
So that's where he's going with it. He's going with it from the perspective of that. Hold on a second. I had to stop for a quick second. Ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Got more to do with what's going on outside my door. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. It's a completely separate issue. I got there were a lot of people passing by, and I was about to say some. I was gonna fuck around and say some. I be trying to be respectful of neighbors. I hate this. That's one bad thing about being in the studio. I do got neighbors, and when they're right outside the hallway, because my studio is in a building where there's an insurance place like down the hall, and then sometimes when the guy that sells insurance next to me, he can't hear me when I'm in here, but when his customers are in the hallway before they walk into his place, his customers could hear me, and I don't want them to hear me say some ill shit because I don't want to fuck up his business. So that's why I got quiet. Like, hold on, I didn't want to mess up his business. they might hear me say some wild stuff, turn around and leave. That's a good point, Excalibur. A good point. Since when do they always do what women say? But no, it's the manipulation in his words. He's starting with the premise that men are en masse telling women, "Get out of your feelings, get out of your feelings, get out of your feelings." But now you're wondering why she's so masculine. Don't explain. Don't blame women being masculine on men telling them to get out of their feelings. Like en masse, men are not saying get out of your feelings. That's not something en masse that's being said. Women are doing what they're doing. They're choosing to hook up. What do you mean stand on your square? I hate when y'all say stupid stuff. It really throw me off. What do you mean stand on your square? What square didn't I stand on? You talking about when I paused for the guy that sells insurance next door to me because his customers was like right outside my door? I just paused for that until they walked into his place. That's not us not standing on your square. That's just being respectful and not fucking up his money. This is my how compassionate. Yeah, man doing business down the hall. I ain't gonna mess up his money. I ain't gonna control what I say in here on my show. But for that brief moment when his customers walk through the main door to his door, it's about 5 seconds. It's about 5 seconds that I would rather not say I'd rather not say some ill shit during those 5 seconds. That happens maybe, you get about 2-3 customers a day. So through 5-second periods on the show, I have to pause and try not to say something too crazy. That's all. He says, but now her rent the back room like Saul Goodman, rent that office in Nelson. I know. Come on. No. I got a whole room, the studio room right here, and I got my own back room that I'm gonna do something with. I got a whole back room in here that I could rent out. I got plenty of room in here. Cut it out. Cut it out. No, it's a building. It's a building with two businesses in it. It's mine. It's like a big building and it's a one hallway, and then you know, over to the left is the insurance agency. Over to the right is my studio. A lot of square feet. A lot of square feet that I'm not even using. But anyway, shout out to everybody in the building. Don't clown me like that, Christian Hutchison. Don't clown me like that. Don't clown me like that. But anyway, homeboy is starting with the premise that men. Oh, let me see what y'all on. That's crazy. You can blame the man for her not understanding what he meant by get out your feelings. You can blame, what is he saying? That's crazy. You can blame the man for her not understanding what he meant by get out of your feelings. Well, he's starting with the premise that men en masse are just telling women that they need to get out of their feelings. That's what he's starting with. I don't see that happening. Now, I do see happening that a lot of people participate in hookup culture, and then people go to hooking up in hookup culture. And then if the woman is really feeling the dude after she didn't had sex with him and he didn't put it down and the whole works and everything, and then she want to get in her feelings and try to be attached to him, and he's like, well, hey, we hooked up. But that's what I'm gathering from it, is that he's trying to say that the man who put it on her and got her in her feelings got to be responsible for those feelings, as if she's not an adult who chose to do this hooking up thing. That's the problem that I'm having with it. That's the problem that I'm having with it.
Now they have to heal from that. So you
Oh yeah, and the last thing he said is that, and that's why they so masculine, as if all that masculinity that women rocking with right now, as if that wasn't getting baked into the cake early on. If that wasn't getting baked into the cake early on, if that didn't start happening, practically decades ago. So it's like he's trying to say, oh, you made them masculine because you hooked up with them and had sex with them. I mean, the dude doing a shirt with a six pack in his shirt off, as if he as if he ain't hooking up. Like as if you ain't if you pandering with your shirt off, you hooking up. So if you pandering with your shirt off, you hooking up, you having sex with them. Are you wiping up every chick that you having sex with? So that's where he got to get out of there. that's where he got to get out of there. Why he got a spider web on his head? That's where he got to get out of there, and he just doing a wholesale amount of cap. All right, there's a number of reasons why women are more masculine today, and out of all those number of reasons, I tend to believe that it's not it's not predicated on the fact that they're hooking. I mean, that men are telling them to get out of their feelings. Now, it could be predicated on the fact that they chose to behave and conduct themselves like men. And by like men, I mean the top of men who got it like that, who can have a rotation of women. Yeah, if you start trying to have a rotation of men and you handling and juggling multiple dicks, and then you having sex and your sexual behaviors is more or less like men, then yeah, you're gonna get to the point to where you're gonna be less emotional and probably more masculine. That's not men fault. That's not men fault. They fought hard to change the environment. But it's basically, that's why I say my biggest takeaway from it is that he's essentially saying they could be hoes, just love them anyway. That's essentially what he's saying. If you follow where I'm going with that. But shout out to the Simps and the Panda Bears. I've been noticing they've been coming on strong in full force after the passing of Kevin Samuels, after the untimely passing of Kevin Samuels. They've been coming on strong and in full force. Oh yeah, update on this. I know y'all saw this. Let me make that bigger. I know y'all saw that mixer event. It was a mixer where only women showed up. Now there's a reason why only women showed up, but it was hold on.
And only women showed up.
I don't even want to get copyrighted. Let me see if I can make this bigger for y'all. Nope, that ain't getting no bigger.
Went to a singles mixer. And only women showed up.
Now, the story.
Went to a singles mixer.
Let me turn that
and
off.
only women
Now,
showed
the story
up.
behind that, the final breaking in the story was that it happened during the NBA Finals. That was my first initial thought. Poor promotion. Shout out to Body Thug. My first thought was it was poor promotion. That it probably was promoted in some women's blog or someplace that women only frequent. That was my initial thought, that it was reported there. But RM saying this was sad. It actually wasn't sad. The truth be told, the men showed up. They just showed up late. And the reason they showed up late because they scheduled it around the time of the NBA Finals. Now, either way it go, it's still something to talk about. It shows that women, they pay no attention to what men got going on and what men do, and what it should have known not to schedule it around that time. But they don't give a damn. They don't pay no attention. They have no idea what we into, and they didn't even think that, oh shit, game 6, an elimination, a closeout game in the NBA Finals might cause men not to be at your event. But the men did come after the NBA Finals was over. They just showed up late. Now, if they didn't show up at all, yeah, it would have been still some good commentary on that. It's good commentary either way, but it'd been even juicier commentary had men not showed up at all, because that would have again spoke to this little thing that's hookup culture. It's like this whole, the hookup culture makes it to where men are less motivated to date. It's a lot of them still doing it, but men are less motivated to do it. So mixer events like that, men are less likely to want to even, do stuff like that. But they did show up. So men still showing up to this, men still dating. And this is where and how and why they want to try to make it seem like it's men's fault, that everything is upside down and topsy-turvy and all over the place and everything, and why, black relationships, black love, which is a joke in my opinion, the whole concept of it, because black love is what we just saw. Homeboy that was up there just talking with his shirt off, pandering to women, telling them what they want to hear and blaming men for everything and saying that men ain't shit and women are perfect. That's what black love is. Women being perfect and men needing to prove themselves to women. That's black love. That, at least in terms of the industry of it. The industry of it. Because it is an industry. And a lot of people have gotten rich off of that industry. So that's essentially what it is. That's essentially what it is. But when it comes to, why actual black love, I'm using air quotes. I don't know if y'all can see it because I don't got the screen up, but using air quotes, why actual black love is not a thing, or in the state that it's in. I think it's more women is less than men. I think they're getting their diminishing returns. I'm about to show something on it. I think they're getting more like their diminishing returns on what, what they asked for, what they lobbied for, what they fought for.
What's a scam that's become so normalized that we don't even realize it's a scam anymore?
So the question is, just in case y'all couldn't catch what she was saying, what is a scam that's become so normalized that we don't even view it as a scam no more? Now, let's keep this in mind. When the manosphere first started and MGTOW first started going on, men going their own way, that was, men basically saying, hey, this marriage thing is a scam. That's what it is. However, the reason that it's a scam is not for the reason that she's about to say. It's really not even so much the men have gone their own way. It's like women have technically went their own way. But we're about to roll this not so beautiful bean footage. Let's go. But remember, the question was, what's something that's a scam that's been going for so long that we don't even view it as a scam anymore?
Marriage to men, especially if you're a woman.
She's saying it's a scam for women. Women marrying men is a scam. It's a scam on their end. Like she's saying the women are being scammed. So let's hear how.
It's a scam. But for some reason, they were able to make it seem like women should marry for love and stability and protection, when most of the time these men are not offering any of that. They leave pretty much.
That's the fairy tale is married for love. The practicality, I think men are marrying women because they love them. Women, more times than not, there are women that marry for love. Don't get it twisted here. There are women that do marry for love, but a lot of times they be marrying on some power and resources and the whole works. A lot of times they be marrying on that. He said, I suspect those women at the event were the same dancing on saying, very possible, very possible. But hold on, let's hear the argumentation.
Make it seem like women should marry for love and stability and protection, when most of the time these men are not offering any of that. They leave pretty much all of the domestic, emotional, and mental labor of the relationship to the woman. Also,
emotional labor. I had to look that up. I pre-looked that up before the show. Emotional labor. The mental activity required to manage or perform the routine tasks necessary for maintaining relationships and ensuring smooth running of household or process, typically regarded as an unappreciated or unacknowledged burden borne disproportionately by women. The second definition says the management of one's emotions in order to present oneself and interact with other people in a certain way while doing a job. Now, in modern relationships, emotional labor, what the fuck? Yeah, that's how I felt too. That's why I looked it up. In modern relationships, who's doing more bending? Who's doing more walking on eggshells? In the majority of them, who's doing more walking on eggshells? Who's getting sent to the doghouse? Who's having to sleep on a couch? Who's the person who comes home and peeps through the door, checks the temperature in the room to see if I'm about to walk into a war zone today? Who's the person in most cases doing that? Who's the person constantly worried about if this person is in a bad mood, it's going to fuck up my whole day? If this person's in a bad mood, it's going to fuck up my whole week. Who's the person constantly doing apologetic things when they've done nothing exactly wrong, but they have to do something to make up for something that was probably a 50-50 disagreement, but one person emotionally blew up, but so the other person got to fix the problem to make sure that her emotions get back intact? Who's normally the one that has to do all that? So when she's talking about women have to do the emotional labor in the relationship, I mean, if anything, they're saying that they're more emotional, and men have to constantly be in these modern relationships. I'm not saying this is how it should be, but in a lot of these modern relationships, men are the ones walking on eggshells trying not to piss this woman off. That is what it is. That is what's going on. So I don't know what the hell you're talking about as far as emotional labor. The domestic labor is actually data that shows that is not split 50-50. Women still do more of that. But the amount of it that men do is closer. I can't even see myself. God damn it. It's closer. It's closer. Then when you average into the equation that on average, the average man works, I think 5 or 6 more hours per week than the woman. So if she's doing on average an extra hour per day of the domestic duties, but he's doing on average an extra hour of work, that makes it even. So it's like they really don't got nothing. See, what's happening here is that people make decisions for emotional reasons, and then they try to retroactively put a logical reason why they're making the decision. Really, just what it is that she just like being happy and free. She just don't care to be married, unless she was married to some dude or in some relationship with some dude who was just beating her ass or something like that. She in general just no. She like it's like they know that they're in these modern times. They know that they know that they like being free. They know that they like to be able to go and make their little money at an air conditioned cubicle, because that goes back to what you said about these. They ain't protecting and they not providing. Well, no, because you are in a place where you can have your own house with a security system, make your own little money at a cubicle. You ain't lifting, the heaviest thing you lifting is a stapler. You're good. You got police, you got, people who will come to your aid. You probably feel a little safer with a man laying in the bed with you at night, but overall in general, live in a safe society. So you're saying you don't need the men for protection, but obviously we know and understand that men built a world that's safe for them to live and function without a man, and they can go to a company that's probably owned by a man, but that's neither here nor there, and make 40, 50, 60K a year in an air-conditioned cubicle, and that's how they can provide for themselves, so they don't need the provisions of a man. In the safe society we live in, police, military, and just overall collective, people generally protect women from intruders. Like, I mean, that's just generally how it goes, you know. Yeah. So they walk around feeling safe. They can make their own money. So they like, the overall general collective of men have figured out a way to where I can function and thrive without an individual man in my life. So really, that has made her come to the conclusion, oh, well, fuck these men. I don't need these men. I mean, I need some dick here and there. So they just get some dick here and there. That's essentially what's going on. But they're trying to retroactively make it seem like marriage is just some big scam. But no, the world has just been optimized. The guy who, like I said, she can make that 40, 50, 60K in the cubicle somewhere. That guy who makes that 40, 50, 60K working construction back when she couldn't exactly make that money in a cubicle, that was a guy who was giving her protection and provision. Now that she can go and make her own 40, 50K, she don't need that guy. And that's what it is. That's what it is. She can have strategic singlehood. She can have strategic singlehood, like that article said was talked about. That's what it is. That's what it is. And so that's why she's saying marriage is a scam for women. But seeing as women typically marry a man who's going to do more for them, typically, they still want to marry a guy who's successful, who's still making good money. They still want to do that. And seeing as they still want to do that, it's like that goes back to what I said. Some of them will marry a guy who they just love and they just really feel it, and that's just the guy that just make them warm and fuzzy on the inside. I get all that. But a lot of them, they're looking at marriage as only in the terms of it's a good deal. That's why women rarely have to pay alimony, because they're looking to marry men who who end up having to pay it to them. If they get with a guy and he's not making that kind of money, the reason that divorce rate is so damn high, and money is one of the biggest reasons, and is because when they married this man, if they married him when he was 27, okay, right now he's 37, he's closing in on 40, and he's still not that dude who's able to retire them. And now they like, okay, fuck it, I might as well go be, single and just live a okay life by myself and do what I want to do. Like, that's what it is.
If there are children involved, the child rearing, emotional time, should marry for love and stability and protection, when most of the time these men are not offering any of that. They leave pretty much all of the domestic, emotional, and mental labor of the relationship to the woman. Also, if there are children involved, the child rearing. So pretty much you're in that marriage by yourself.
And that's nonsense. I should have let her play it all the way out. I basically just refuted what she said, and I don't even feel the need to reiterate that. I don't even need to reiterate that. But like I said, this data galore shows that they're not doing all that by themselves anymore. Men have adjusted to the modern times. Men have adjusted to the modern times and essentially given women what they wanted, and women are still not happy and walking up out of there. That's what it is.
And they pretty much get to go off and do whatever the heck they want. And thus they know it benefits them, because that's why they keep promoting it towards women. And the reason why they can't stand and they viscerally hate single mothers.
What? Oh, wow. Okay. She said that's why they hate single mothers. I don't think people hate single mothers. I think a lot of men have woken up and said that if I manage my life a certain way and I don't have any kids, I'm not going to marry a woman with kids. And in the Black community, the really, really high percentage of women that does have kids, yeah, that's for the amount of Black men that want to get married versus the amount of Black women that have children out of wedlock, statistically speaking, it's not even possible if all those Black men stay in Black America. If all those Black men tried to marry Black women, it would be impossible for them to marry women who don't already have kids. So again, she's trying to retroactively make some reason why men don't want to deal with single mothers. She's talking about men promoting marriage to women. No, I think marriage is more promoted to women. Marriage is more promoted to women. And women are the ones acting and conducting themselves in a way that shows that they don't want it. They don't want it. So it's really like a weird thing going on. Men went MGTOW. A lot of men went MGTOW, meaning that they're pulling back from long-term committed relationships, marriage, and family, and children, and all of that. And women are essentially doing the same thing. But when women do the same thing, it's different because they will pull back from being in long-term committed relationships and marriages, but they don't pull back from family. They don't pull back from having kids. They still get their kids. You know what I mean? It's like, because in order for a man to have kids in today's world, there's ways to work around it. He generally has to be attached to a woman. He generally has to be attached to a woman. He generally has to have a intact traditional nuclear family. That part is true. And that part you could probably argue that men are promoting marriage in that sense, because an intact nuclear family is the only way that a man can truly be a father and have kids. There's other ways to work around it, but typically that's the way to do it. But a woman does not need to be attached to a man in order to have her kids. She just needs to, get some semen from somewhere. That's all she has to do. So she can scratch her itch to have a family and be a mother without a man, but a man can't really scratch his itch to have a family and be a father without having that woman. So that puts them at that advantage to where they can just willy-nilly just do whatever and operate how they're going to operate. And when they want kids, they just go and get pregnant. They just find somebody to get them pregnant. The comment section is wild in response to this video. Oh, hell, I'll read it. It says, married and divorced twice. I guess my picker was off. That's that thing when people tell her to pick better. Yeah. I mean, if you got married, okay, I ain't even go. Okay. Here's the problem with that. She said, married and divorced twice. I guess my picker was off. Was it off? Because I'm pretty sure you picked marriage-minded men if they married you, and I'm pretty sure she filed both of those divorces. So I don't think, if your picker was off, you filed those divorces, you left. Now, unless he was beating your ass or you're doing something horrendous, then no, you just changed your mind. You changed your mind about being married. Oh, well, okay. Now she did say cheating and abuse occurred. Okay, well, okay. Maybe your picker was off, whatever. But you said cheating and abuse occurred, and they still wanted me to stay through it all. See, I don't condone that. I don't condone getting your ass whooped. Glad I got the bug out of me while I'm still young. Now I can enjoy getting older without the biological clock ticking and my fantastical imagination going into overdrive and white picket fences and children. So she's basically saying, she got it out of her system to hell with white picket fence and children and all of that. I mean, she was getting situations like that. I don't really knock that. I mean, she was getting abused. She got out and now she happy and she got her kids. Whatever. Says, if your man is progressive, shares household duties, takes care of you when you're sick, deeply loves you, and didn't come from a broken family, then marry him, sis. Considering that most men aren't raised to be this way, then yes, marriage is definitely a scam. So these are women saying, keep in mind, this is a space that MGTOW sprouted out of, where women were, I'm sorry, not women, men were holding and saying that marriage is a scam for men. This is the flip around where women are saying it is a scam for women. No longer a scam for men. It's a scam for women. Women, live your truth. I've lived the fairy tale shit and I was miserable. After the divorce, I dated and was still miserable. Y'all can't see what I'm reading. Y'all probably still can't see it right there. So I need to know I ain't making that one up. She said, I was married and I was miserable. Then I got single and I dated and I was still miserable. Yeah, you just a miserable person. Just a miserable person wanting to be somebody else's fault. Right, RM said, wherever you go, there you are. Yeah. But hey, live your truth, like she said. Women, live your truth. I lived the fairy tale shit and was miserable. After the divorce, I dated and was still miserable. Then something came over me and said, bitch, fuck a man and his problems. I'm single again, but I'm so fucking happy being stress-free, drama-free, and disease-free. I am comfortable with being alone and getting to know myself again. The only thing great, this is a good part. The only thing great that I received from being with a man is my twin sons that are 22 years old. Other than that, I'm good on dating anybody's son for now. This is an old ass woman with 22-year-old kids talking about dating anybody's son. What the hell? When you talk about dating somebody's son, you sound like, in my mind, I'm like you're dating a younger person. Like, yo, old, like you should be saying dating somebody's daddy. I can't really see the picture, but you look old. I mean, you ain't dating somebody's son, you're dating somebody's daddy. Like, what the hell? Well, she just see black men as boys. I don't know. Dating somebody's son for now because I love me and peace. But that's going to be a reoccurring theme in these comments where they're going to be saying that I got my kids though. Fuck these niggas. I got my kids. I never actually wanted to get married. See, it's one thing that I love about this space. One thing I love about this, I'm not talking about what she's talking about there, and people don't give this space credit, is that we've called them on so much nonsense. We've called them on so much BS that we forced them to just start telling the damn truth. We've essentially cleared the black man's name in some ways. In some ways. Because now they just rocking out with their cock out without. I never actually wanted to get married. I never imagined a married life. Whenever I see my future, I don't see a husband until I mention kids and other people mention a husband. So that means she mentions kids because, she wants kids. She wants kids. She don't want a husband. Whenever she starts talking about kids, other people, she put it in bold print, other people start mentioning a husband. But she's like, the hell with that. She just wants some kids. It's something to think about. I'm not against it, just nothing I've ever fantasized for myself personally. More and more each day, I'm leaning toward never, ever getting married. We've been telling y'all. What we've been telling y'all, like men talking about going MGTOW, you don't really have to. The women, they going WGTOW. That's men going their own way, women going their own way. For those that don't know. I already don't have any children. I always felt there would be a great chance that I'd be a single mother in my 40s. And here I am, 40 with no kids and never been married. And I'm glad I stuck to my guns because all the friends I have around my age are getting divorced. She said, are getting divorced. No, are all the, I don't want you worded like this. All the friends around my age are breaking up their families after being married years and years. What is the point? Some men marry women so they can have that servant lifestyle, as if y'all are serving like that. As if y'all are, as if they serving like that. That's just wild that they even throw that out there. Not this woman. I'm not picking up no socks, cleaning your dishes, staying home, taking care of the kids. Wow. Not this woman. I'm not picking up no socks, cleaning your dishes, staying home, taking care of the kids while the man gets to go out and do him. Man, bump that. I'm seeing the headaches of these women and I refuse, as if all her friends are just some stay-at-home housewives. Yeah, right. Okay, I'm seeing the headaches of these women and I refuse to murder my happiness. Call me selfish, but at least I'm happy in saving my own money, not having to spend it on kids and a divorce. But if you got enough masculine energy, she'll submit and be feminine, though. Just so you know. I don't know if y'all know that. If you He's saying they worse on Twitter. I'm not on Twitter like that. I got a Twitter account. But I haven't effectively started twittering yet. But I bet they worse on Twitter. I can imagine. Little Big Nate in the building. Yeah, where he at? I just saw him. I know I saw him. Did he disappear? There we go. Little Big Nate in the building. Shout out to Little Big Nate. I'm currently married and separated. He thinks the separation is temporary, but actually, I've already made up my mind to file the divorce papers tomorrow. I think it's best to do so before I purchase a house. So she's trying to divorce him, then buy a crib. I don't plan to let him even know where I live, and the kids will have a drop off location. I'm fed up. Most of the comments I can relate to. It's unless she could tell me this man is beating her and or the kids' ass, then I'm like, well, let me finish reading. We may find, because I mean, there is a reason why you don't want somebody to know where you live and had to have a public drop off for the kids. There's situations where that's necessary. A situation where that's necessary, but they just they they just rest in the glory of the fact that they know separation for them means they walk away with their kids. Separation for the man means a public drop off place for your kids in a restricted amount of time where you must return them at that place, or there will be consequences and penalties. I don't plan to let him even know where I live, and the kids will have a drop off location. I'm fed up. Most of these comments I can relate. It's beneficial to me in a way financially, but his attitude and ways are too much for me. I thank God that I have a wonderful family who are helping me pick up the pieces. I remember SKC asked a question on my show, going through a divorce, does your family do more to try to help bring you together or more to try to help bring you apart? It sounds like our family is helping to, aid her in the separation, but I haven't read this one all the way through yet, so I don't know. Maybe he was pouring hot, gasoline or something on her. I don't know, but okay. I have a wonderful family who are helping me pick up the pieces, although I don't ask for much. I'm raising girls and won't talk down on marriage to them, but will let them know how the wind blows with this scam. You're not going to talk down to them about marriage, but you're going to let them know that it's a scam. They can make the choice for themselves. I'll give them advice along the way. That's all I can do. Overall, men love games, so this video makes so much sense. After all we sacrifice, and one thing that I've talked about on this show plenty of times, that a lot of the times they overrate their amount of sacrifice. Yeah, they overrate their amount of sacrifice. I'll just say that there are some women that sacrifice and will walk blindfolded off a cliff for a man. There are some women that would do that, but there's some women that a man could build a big ass company from the ground. I mean, hell, we in Waiting to Exhale. If you look at what Angela Bassett was going off about, she was like, "I built this company. I did this. I was your secretary." Okay, he could have paid somebody $30K to do your job. I mean, that was a big ass company. Like he had hundreds of people working for him, but your secretary work was worth half. Okay. Freeman's Journal in the building says these bras have zero chance of being stay at home mom in the first place. It's like saying I decided not to win a gold medal at the Olympics. Right on. All right, let's read the rest of this. I thank God I'm wonderful for helping me pick up the pieces. Although I don't ask for much, I'm raising girls and won't talk down on marriage to them, but we'll let them know how the wind blows with this scam. They can make the choice for themselves. I'll give them advice along the way. That's all I can do. Overall, men love games, so this video makes sense. After all we sacrifice, it becomes a sick game to them most of the time. And here's the thing, and I'm objective, and I do reach across the aisle. I do know there's a woman that I know who is actually sacrificing a lot, and the guy is, is taking advantage. It's just a lopsided situation. But overall, a lot of times when they talking about what they sacrifice, I'm like, I know so many situations. Like it's I know a lot of women that got dudes who want to marry him who would do any damn thing for him and they don't even want it. So I mean, so when I see the ones talking about I sacrificed so much in this marriage, I'm like, come on. Anyway, and she says, no, my man is no Pookie or Ray Ray. So there's somebody who be listening to this space. No, my man is no Pookie or Ray Ray and very attractive. I refuse to compete with every new lady that he decides to entertain. Game over. Okay. All right. I also didn't like the idea of sharing a space with them. Oh man, so she's just saying she don't like to share a space. I also didn't like the idea of sharing a space with them. That's real masculine, because that's one thing that men don't like. That's one thing men don't like when it comes to marriage, is the mere fact that you are you're giving up a lot of space, a lot of very, personal space. Women have a way of taking up a lot of room and making your house not feel like your house. That's why it's a such thing as a man cave. So the man can have one little area in the house that feels like his. But the reason we don't have a word for a woman, well, we already got a word for a woman cave. It's called the house. The house becomes hers, and then he gets a corner. Like that's how it ends up being. But anyway, she's talking very, very masculine here, saying, I also didn't like the idea of sharing a space with them. And not many men want to have separate spaces when getting married. Damn, and she's saying she want to get married and have a separate bedroom. I don't know exactly where she's going. Not many men want to have separate spaces when getting married. I think don't even think she's talking about different bedrooms. I think she's talking about different houses. They want to be up under you and also want to put all the responsibility on you. That's another factor on why a lot of marriages and relationships end so quickly, because so much responsibility is being put on the woman, even though men, particularly men who's doing well for themselves, will happily marry a woman who brings little to no resources to the table. They will happily marry her. Women do not happily do that. So I don't know why they're talking about it from the perspective of they're just doing so much more. That's also another factor on why a lot of marriages and relationships end so quickly, because the culture encourages us to always be together and do everything together. I understood Whoopi Goldberg when she said she didn't want a man in her house. See, like they literally just walking around just beating their chest and grabbing their nuts. I mean, it's no other way around it. because they're low key baby. Oh wow, because they're low key babies who you want to provide for you. I literally heard a woman who, in the same breath where she was talking about a man paying all the bills and she taking care of the house, she literally in that same breath said, because y'all become our children after we marry y'all. But this man who's working and providing everything for you is somehow your child because you got to pick his drawers up off the bathroom floor when he got ready to go to work. He didn't stop to pick his drawers up. He got dressed and went to go make money to take care of your ass. But he's your child because you picked up his drawers and socks. I mean, like, that's the logic sometimes, because they're low key babies. They take up so much space in our lives just to not want to contribute anything or the bare minimum. I only wanted to get married so as to not have children out of wedlock, as brainwashed not to do so. And that's like an image, an emoji of the church. So listen to this. I only wanted to get married so as to not have children out of wedlock. And she even put air quotes in, I mean, quotation marks in out of children out of wedlock, was basically saying she don't even believe that's a thing, having children out of wedlock. That is like, she like, whatever, like, as brainwashed not to do so. So she was brainwashed by the church not to have children out of wedlock. Now that I don't want kids anymore, guess what? She's basically saying, I don't want kids no more anyway. So I don't want marriage no more. To hell with this, they don't want to get married. We can wrap that part up right there. We could wrap that part up right there. And so I go and ask another question on the heels of Father's Day. On the heels of Father's Day, when I saw a lot of posts by women, as we always do on Father's Day, of them saying Happy Father's Day to the mothers of the world. And I saw a post from a woman saying, yeah, Happy Father's Day to the mothers. We didn't walk out on our children. That's what they're saying. They didn't walk out on their children. And I asked the question in one of my videos. I may play that video at the end of the show. It was like, did the man, did he leave you and the kids, or did you leave him and take the kids? And they're talking about how passionate they are about not wanting to be married. I was married and I was miserable. Then I got unmarried. I left them because I was miserable. I'm still miserable, but I got my kids and I'm happy because I just wanted my kids. Now I want a family. I want to be up under a man, but I do want my kids. I do want kids. Let's get into that point. We got to ask the question: Can you really just throw it all on men? Could you really just look at that? I saw women, quoting that 77% of black children born out of wedlock statistic. Can you really just throw that all on men, given the attitudes that women have today? Can you seriously do that with a straight face? I don't think you can anymore. I don't think you can effectively do that anymore. I think that it's enough women that have made it clear that they are happy having that family. I mean, in the ideal perfect situation, but no situation is perfect, but in that ideal perfect situation, yeah, okay, they'll accept the dude and, the whole works and everything. But a lot of the time, the restrictions of them being free to do what they want to do, how they want to do it, when they want to do it, being attached to a man, having to follow a man, have to listen to a man. They don't want all of that, but they want the children. They want the children. And we've boxed them into a corner to where we're hearing it right loud and clear out of the horse's mouth. Hashtag not all. I'll go ahead and say that. Hashtag not all. But we are hearing that loud, proud, and clear out of the horse's mouth. Even one of, this was interesting. I don't even know who the hell the city girls are. Y'all got to forgive me. I don't even know who these people are. But one of them said, I think JT or something. The girl JT, I think that's her Instagram. I'm looking at it right now. It says, Father's Day is for men. Ladies, keep all the happy Father's Day to me because I play both sides shit on the playground and let the real dads enjoy. She said that, and of course they clap back immediately. Girl, you don't even have a kid to speak on the roles we play. And then she instantly just responded with, "You right, my bad." It's like she okay, and that's where I say the stuff that we say is having an effect. The stuff that we say is getting out into the it's getting out into the ether. People are talking about it. People are, are saying a lot of the things that we are saying. But they end up having to, they end up getting perp walked as soon as they do it. They end up getting perp walked as soon as they do it, like instantly almost. That's what I was just showing y'all right there. They get perp walked almost immediately. Father's Day is for men. Ladies, keep all that Happy Father's Day to me because I play both roles shit on the playground. Let the real dads enjoy. Some chick, Ashanti, I don't know, that ain't the Ashanti, I don't think. Some chick came right back, girl, you don't even have kids to speak on the roles we played, and you see it right there in bold. You right, my bad. It's like she said something, she got out of line, the sisterhood came, had to come check her. She got right back in line real fast. She got right back in line real fast. Like, uh-oh, I'm not about to mess up my market. She on some. I know my customers. God damn it. let me get back in lockstep real quick. She's not going to pick that hill to die on. She chose not to die on that hill. She chose real quick not to die on that hill. Like, forget this. Forget this. But let's see. All right. We are almost at the 2 hour mark. I was going to wrap this up at 2 hours. I still may wrap it up relatively early, but I will toss the link in the chat very, very briefly. Very briefly, if somebody wants to come up and have their say on this. Anybody wants to come up and have their say on this, the link is in the chat. Link is in the chat. Let me dot just a few I's and cross a few T's, but the link is in the chat. Anybody want to come up? Like I say before, all of the live shows will be going to Patreon. We'll be going immediately to Patreon, and members immediately after they air. Immediately after they air, they will be going to members and Patreon. So if you don't want to miss the live show, I highly recommend you become a member or a patron. If you came in late and then you don't want to be missing none of the live shows, or when I do have a panel, because I be trying to avoid wild, wacky, crazy panels. But when I do have wild, wacky, crazy panels, and it goes immediately to Patreon or members, and you miss it, the only way that you can catch it is you can be a Patreon or a member. That is the only way that you can catch it. And I got something in my eye. God dang. I'm sorry. I'm trying to check on something. Because I was looking away. And I'm thinking, oh wait, no, okay, I got everything. I was making sure that I had to check the analytics and make sure I saw everybody who super chatting. I have seen all the super chats. So there we go. All right. So we got Freedman's Journal. Freedman's. He got music playing in the background.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me turn that off.
What is going on? You ready? Yeah, I don't know if you're talking. I don't know if you're talking. We can't hear you. You see what RM says right there. Become a member of the Bernard Riley channel and gain access to perks. The only perk is the live shows. They go straight to Patreon when they go off the air. That is the only perk. So you want to become a member for that reason. Are you ready or no?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, what's up? What you got on this, man?
I think maybe married men in the manosphere, we should just start trolling these events, right? Just show up with our families to the same venue.
What you talking about the dating event mixer thing?
Yeah, these Hyenaville events. Just be like,
No, no, man. The brothers. The report is this: the brothers showed up. They just showed up late. They were watching the NBA finals. So you can't.
bro,
It would have
I
been a
don't.
hell of a story. Now, okay, let me just say this: nobody has actual video of the brothers showing up. I will say that, but that's what was reported. That brothers showed up after the finals. So,
No, man. There's a Reddit post that has it, but the two they look like they're at the same time, man. If you look at that video and like about 10 seconds in, it shows the shadows. It looks like it's 7 or 8 o'clock, and then they show the other one that's supposed to be the real event, and it looks like the same time. So I don't know. I've been to those before, and it's always the same. Anyone who's been, you know what it looks like, right? It's
I've
one
been to
to
one of those type
five
of events.
ratio is like a good event. It's usually like 1 to 10.
Damn. That may not be a bad
Yeah,
place for a
man.
single man to hang out. Go on in, go on in, go in, do your thing. But Son is out around the building says the sisterhood at this point are trolling black men and are daring us to walk the F away from them because in their heads we don't have the balls to do so. See, I disagree with that. I think in many ways, and I said this very recently. Many ways, many men have already have walked away, and I'm not even talking about the ones who repping SB. I mean, not SB, SYSBM. I mean, forgetting all the acronyms floating around in space, but the ones that's repping SYSBM like a gang sign, so throwing it up like a gang sign. I think they've all. I mean, I'm not even talking about them. I'm talking truthfully. Really, I'm talking about Game Changer, right? I'm talking about people like me and Game Changer. If it's to the point where a lot of women are conducting themselves in a certain way to where you shrink it down to where the American black women are conducting themselves in a certain way to where you shrink it down to where it's only a small percentage of them are the ones that you're going to deal with in your own way. You've essentially gone SYSBM. You've essentially gone MGTOW. You've essentially done that to the majority of the women out there, and the only ones you let in are ones who conduct themselves a certain way or present a certain way or act a certain way or or carry themselves a certain way. So that's why I always say all the infighting is stupid because we all essentially on the same team. We all essentially on the same team and we all have essentially done the same thing. Some different people put their marker in a different place in the ground. So when you say that you don't have the balls to do so, I disagree. I think that thing is already essentially it's being done by men like us. Put it like that. It's being done by men like us. I'll say that. But go ahead. What you got on that Freedman's Journal, and then I'll pass it to Game Changer. And on that note, I think I'll go right to Game Changer. What's up, GC? What you got? Okay, ain't nobody playing ball today.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You playing ball, so you got the mic. What's up, Uncle Stu?
Okay, what's going on? But yeah, I definitely agree with your last point. Especially if you start looking at age, people that's over like 35, 40, got their finances, life in order. A lot of black men just ain't tolerating the foolishness. It took too long to get here or took too hard to get here. So those numbers is extremely small for any man that is even thinking about, these women. That kind of, I saw the video, whether brothers showed up or not, a lot of brothers wouldn't show up because what for? You already know what they're looking for. And is it really worth your time?
I don't know. I mean, the way I look at it, I mean, listen, I honestly, I'm not out there. I'm not out there right now. I mean, I was fairly recently out there, but I can't really fully 100% say that, a guy can't go to something like that and meet a decent chick. I can't just full blown absolutely say that. But if dudes just don't show up to stuff like that, it's telling. But I think for me, it's more of a commentary on the state of what I was talking about before of this whole hookup culture. And men don't complain too much about it. Men, 'cause I mean, there's some men who benefit greatly from it.
Right.
So men on mass aren't going to complain too much about it. But the fact of the matter is that going through all the hurdles of what used to be, traditional dating, I think men are pulling away from that and just
Yeah.
operating just on some come through hookup type shit, or let's just meet up at the bar, or let's just go. Dudes not jumping through those loops. And truth be told, I was out there recently enough to experience this. The women that I took out on a lot of dates and did all that stuff for, didn't it's a crazy environment out there to where you don't even get as far a lot of the times.
Well,
when you
see,
go,
when I was out there, because I'm like you, I'm not out there anymore. But when I was out there, I didn't even have to take anybody out. As long as I had an income and a place to stay in a car, that was it. And guess what? I still didn't have to go out and pay for no dinner, none of that stuff. So if I just wanted to stay in the quote unquote hookup culture, I'm fine. And I'm in a great state. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm good. But it's the mindset. I mean, then the ones that quote unquote wanted the relationship, I mean, they wasn't qualified. You wasn't qualified. Don't come to me with like $500 in debt. And I'm saying, and I'm being nice, over $500,000 in debt, and looking for me to get you out of debt. That's not going to happen.
right. Well, before I pass it to Game Changer, more what's going on your channel tonight? Because this is the day I agreed to I'm coming on your channel tonight. So
what we were supposed to talk about, but I might have to get with you in the back channel because I might have to switch it. Originally it was just going to be about parenting is not a gender, but I think I'm going to have to upgrade that topic. So I might have to get with you in the back channel. We may have to switch dates.
Okay.
Because
let me know. Just let me know. Let me know. I'm with it either way.
I want to get the news out, the word out, and keep this fathers thing going about how single fathers have to deal with raising children in this cultural environment.
Right. Yeah, but either way, I'm all in. Just let me know. But GC, what you got, man? What you got? What's up?
Hey, what's up? So I've been listening in and out. I've been a little busy. It's Monday morning, but what you guys were just talking about hookup culture, and I see that the chat room is talking about that. So I wanted to talk on that a second because a lot of people think that hookup culture is a good thing. And it is. There are good aspects to it. However, there are a lot of negative side effects of hookup culture that I think needs to be addressed. You see, hookup culture is very advantageous for ugly bitches. And here's why. Because in a hookup culture, and that is where the woman is simply looking for a hookup, women tend to fuck up.
Mm-hmm.
And they tend to relationship down. I repeat, they fuck up and they relationship down. So let's take average at best, for example, right? She is a fuck up, meaning that she fucks up. So even though she's a self-proclaimed 6, I'm pretty sure a guy who is an 8 has fucked her because that's what men do. They fuck down in order to sustain the variety that they need to continue to fuck. So she fucks up. However, she hasn't she hasn't come to the realization that she should relationship down, meaning that if she's a 6, she needs to be looking at 4s as far as who she should be in a relationship with. So you lose that. guys tend to be in relationships, long-term sustainable relationships with women who are physically more attractive than them.
I
That's
don't
who you
know.
really. You telling me you, Uncle Stu, would get with a chick who is uglier than you are handsome?
No,
And you will sustain that relationship. I'm not saying, Uncle Stu, that when during a drought you may go to a chick that's not as hot as you like, but she'll hold over the waters. I'm not saying that it's not much wrong with that. But you're telling me that you would be in an actual relationship. You're walking down Target hand in hand with a chick that is uglier than you are.
No, what I'm pushing back on is even in the hookup culture, I did have some really fine females. They just wasn't, you know what I'm saying? They just wasn't out there like that. You know, I mean, so I can't sit up there and say I'm sticking my pecker or was sticking it, you know what I'm saying, in an ugly chick. I mean, if she wasn't attractive and had some type of intelligence, I ain't even deal with it.
No, I'm saying relative to oneself. So during hookup culture, the women that you were with who were attractive probably was not as attractive as you are as a man, or you got lucky, and that's something that happens too.
Yeah,
However,
I do understand.
generally speaking,
I do understand your premise, though. You know, yeah, I'm gonna give you that there was more of unsuitable desires. Let's just say I had communications with, but not always sexual relationship with. So I would definitely say part of your argument is absolutely true.
what I'm saying is that it's easier to get hotter if you put relationship on the negotiating table. That's what I'm saying. It's
Okay.
easier to get a hotter chick if you put relationship on the negotiating table.
Okay.
Because once again, if all a man wants is dick and pussy, then what's to stop her from getting the most appealing penis out there? There really isn't much. That's what I'm saying. So that's the downside of it. That's
Right.
the downside of it because women just go to these dating sites like I have a vagina. They tend to just go to the top of the vagina that's willing to fuck her, and that's rarely the average guy.
Well, I'll say this, and I don't think I've talked about this before. The general truth in what you're saying is that when I was out there with it, I mean, yeah, it was some chicks I messed with that I was like, oh yeah, she's bad. But a
Yeah.
lot of times, men get out there on some, and I was guilty, taking taking what we can get sometimes, and that's where it benefits women greatly because again, like you said,
Exactly.
the
No,
women.
that's where it benefits unattractive women greatly. Let's be clear.
Right. That woman who's a four, she can get a six willing to just
Yeah.
for him that's some sexual access. For him
My
that's some sexual
argument is,
access. For him that's some sexual access that's better than jacking off.
yeah.
So she's getting a better deal. So
Yeah.
the unattractive woman gets a better deal from the hookup culture. No, you're absolutely right on that.
Yeah, that's why I said I had to give them part of that argument. You know, it was just, there was some that was out there that did look good, but yeah, I give you part of that argument, definitely.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we all get it, but you see, here's the thing. In hookup culture, it's very difficult to sustain nine pluses. You need a steady stream of nine pluses. I don't maybe there's guys out there that can seduce 365 nine pluses every year. You know, I am not that dude, and I don't know that dude.
Well,
Therefore, those guys are going to have to fuck down. And you want to know what these mediocre bitches are doing? They're waiting. They're waiting for the guys who are up there to run out of nines to fuck and fuck them. That is how hookup culture works for the not so pretty women.
well, if for me, I would say the hookup culture, as is being defined in this space, I think what it's really destroying is, whether or not we ever going to be a quote community. If you're into that, if you want to call it, I got to stick with the B1 Americans. You know what I'm saying? That's where it tends to destroy a community because after a while, like I said, I think I have to look at this on a generation. And when I say generation, I want to say more age, because you can get to that certain level where it's like, I don't want a relationship. So if all I need is just, a sexual satisfaction, then it's a whole lot easier now than, let's say, it was 30 years ago. I'll say less than 20 years ago. You know what I'm saying? With this internet and the way things are going, you don't need to do a whole lot. You're just picking up a phone. You're just going online. So I think it's more that it's easier access to have that kind of culture than it was, say, when I was in my 20s.
Yeah, Christian
No,
Hutchinson
it's
make a
not.
real good point. Hold on, real quick, GC. He says, I knew a player for the Detroit Tigers who was knocking off just regular chicks. That's the thing, too. I be hearing a lot about that. It'd be a lot of professional athletes that be smashing some regular chicks that regular dudes. Like I can't even talk, getting late in the show. They be smashing the same chicks that regular dudes be smashing. Like, that's a thing. So
Yeah.
And that's the benefits for the regular chicks and hookup cultures. They can do stuff like that. You know, they can do stuff like that because he's going over he's going a guy in hookup culture is going for he's compromising quality versus in exchange for quantity. He has to, because hookup is a quantity game. You need enough women to continuously pump and dump. It takes a lot. So what they're doing is they're offering less quality, but they're offering access in exchange for that. But the problem is that you got to dig down. You got to dig down. And damn you, RM, damn you! How dare you say that you are turning down the volume because of the way I speak, or for whatever reason? Why you turn down the volume on my part? Damn you!
what
So
did she say? Hold on.
I totally lost in the conversation. What happened?
no, earlier she's like, yeah, this is the part where I turn down the volume and just post on the corner. You hear this? You hear this? Oh, because Game Changer coming up and blah 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 blah. He's an ugly chess piece. Blah blah blah. That is what she's thinking.
No, she's just the vulgarity of the foul language is just too much for her precious little virgin ears to handle. Game Changer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
shout out to RM.
But but the
Hold on,
point
real
is,
quick, while we got a little slight break in the action. Perry in the building with the $8 super chat, and Robert J. Carmichael. Oh wait, this was from Saturday. You sent this on Saturday and I missed it. I be missing all your cash apps. I'm the homeboy who I just said your government name. I apologize. But shout out to you. Appreciate each and every one of y'all that come through on the cash app end. But all right. So go ahead. Somebody was about to say.
no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. The
What,
point is that is the downfall. That is the downfall of hookup culture. It means that you're throwing your dick out there with a bunch of athletes and shit like that, and then guess what? These chicks are going around sedity as hell. They like, blah 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 blah, and then you sit and you say, wait a minute. I have given your vagina a proper appraisal. I've given it a proper appraisal, and it doesn't measure up. Your vagina is a Uber. It's not something but you're selling it more. You're getting more money Ubering your vagina than you are selling it wholesale in a long-term relationship, and you know that. That's why you, instead of for having one driver, you decided to get a repetition of several in order to piece together a proper love life. It's fucked up. This is the downside of hookup culture. And you say, Uncle Stu, you say that it's gotten better since
No, no, no,
because of
no.
technology. I say it's gotten worse. And you want to know how it's gotten worse? Because go for it.
No. I didn't say it got better.
Mhm.
I said from the cultural perspective, it got easier. I didn't say better. I also would say that at least my personal experience, I usually had that one where all I had to do was pick up a phone call. I mean, it wasn't like I was out there swinging with 20 chicks in 1 week. I mean, no, I'm a different breed, and some of the women that I dealt with was a different breed. It was either on their grinding careers or on their grinding family, and they really just couldn't hook up in that sense of lockdown relationship. Some wasn't looking for that. Some was looking for the same thing I was looking for. You know, do what we got to do. You go your way, I go my way. And so there was no real, how would you say, monolithic commitment. Oh, I said monolithic. You know, just that one-on-one. So, like I said, I get part of your argument, and I'll give you that. But you know, I'm going to say there are some women that has the same mindset, if you want to call it, as the man. Meaning, you know, hey, I'm not looking for a relationship either. You know, whether she's in a career, school, whatever the case may be. But you know, I won't always say and just throw it straight out there. You know, that culture exists because there's men out there that want it too. So it's on
Well,
both.
no. I think the point that you're missing, that Game Changer is saying, is that yes, it's women like that exist, but if a woman is going to have just sex, that's it. That's all she really doing with a guy, is having sex and sex only with a guy. She might as well go up to have sex with the guy that she's most maximally attracted to.
God,
And in that guy, and seeing as guys look at it, and typically in terms of quantity instead of quality, that guy who she's really attracted to, if she's a 6, that guy is an 8, he's still going to go and mess with that 6. So that just makes it to where, yeah, the women are out there, you know, like Game Changer, you called it, fucking up.
right.
they're the woman who's lesser attractive is getting a better. He's basically just saying they're on average, they're getting a better deal out of hookup culture, where versus the deal that guys get out of hookup culture. Basically,
Okay, I got you.
he's saying more relationship culture. The guy will typically get a more attractive woman that he's offering a relationship to, basically, versus fucking down to a woman who's probably two points below. That's basically the argument, if I understand it right, GC.
Okay,
No,
okay,
that's exactly what I'm getting at.
okay.
And that's the thing, fucking up and relationshiping down. Now, the reason why white dudes, Caucasians, whatever you want to call them, Anglo-Saxons, the
Hey,
reason.
let me grab this call. I'm gonna drop down.
All right.
Okay, thanks a lot, Uncle Stu.
All right.
Peace.
Peace. So the reason why white dudes are adept at this is because they have developed a reputation of relationships. So even if they are on some hookup culture, they don't lead with that. People don't look at them and they assume that, you know, oh, he's just on some hookup. Black men, due to stupidity, we have popularized it. We advertise pimp player Mac. Like, you know, we walk up to a chick and she just assume we on some player for life shit. So, you know, we get the hookup type. It's like, okay, I know you're a player for life. So, you know, I only fuck up. They see that on the approach, but when they look at the white dude, they say, okay, maybe he's on some king of the hill relationship. I'm willing to take it down a point or two because he seems like he's offering relationships. So we did ourselves a disservice by, you know, announcing that the foul shit that we plan to do. Like, you know, now I'm not saying it's foul from anybody's perspective, but the women who want relationships. If you're a woman who wants a relationship, and why would you deal with the dude that has player for life tattooed on his skin? Like that shit, you know. Unless he's significantly more handsome than you are pretty. Guys, if you're gonna be an asshole, be the proper asshole. Be the dude that pretends to offer a relationship, that seems like you're gonna offer a relationship.
Uh-oh.
Huh?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and lay that out. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, be the dude that because this is what white dudes do. Be the dude that seems like you're offering relationships and then pump it up. That way you fuck up. That way you as a man you fuck up.
Are you saying
Very few black men fuck up.
Are you saying lie to that woman and
Yeah.
tell her? Are you saying look her right in the eyes and tell her, I want a committed, emotionally profound, long-lasting, monogamous relationship, and then pull the gotcha, bitch, after you get the pussy. Are you saying that?
No, well, I'm saying think it. However, that rarely comes up.
That's
And
true.
even if that came up, those things could be true. And I have said things like that. It just wasn't with her. Like I have said, yes, I'm looking for a very long-term monogamous relationship with somebody with no damn kids. So and I leave that part out if I'm saying that to a single mother. Yes, that's what I said. Take that chick earlier. Hello, you're frozen.
I'm
Oh,
frozen.
you was for a second. Okay, take that chick earlier. That maybe that was me. But take that chick earlier, right? The chick earlier who said I went to a singles event and it was no guys here. Take that chick, right?
Okay.
Now, that is a very regular chick. Could you bring her up, please?
I think I clicked off of it, so it's gone.
Well, here,
But we
I'll
remember
bring
what
it.
she looked like. She was just a regular looking chick.
No, but beyond regular. See, and I want you fellas to know what regular is. I want y'all to know exactly what regular is. Regular is if you only see weave, sunglasses, and titties, that's regular because they all are just weave, sunglasses, and titties. It's just a mesh of that. It's far too much of that going on. Weave, sunglasses, titties. Weave, sunglasses, titties. That's what they do, all the time. So she goes to the event with a bunch of other weave, sunglasses, and titty chicks, wondering why the guys aren't there. And you want to know why they aren't there, Bernard? It's because they know that these are some hookup culture bitches. And they know that they are there not to actually hook up, not to actually hook up, but no, they are there to test the waters. They're there just to they're just trying to find something to do. They could be with a Dallas Cowboy or whatever, or some guy who's looking for regular pussy.
Hmm. Now,
And guys
hold on,
don't want
but
to know it.
I do want to circle back to the lion aspect of it, even though I have ascertained the regular woman that you mentioned with just weave, titties, and sunglasses. It was actually braids, which is weave still, but just throwing that out there.
No, I looked at
Let's
her whole page, Bernard. I looked at her whole page. So, in addition to everything else that's unappealing, she got kids and shit.
Oh, okay.
So, and I'm not talking about kids as in, oh, they're cute and they could still recognize you and stuff. No, they were born in like 2006 or some crap like that.
Oh.
So, huh? Go for it.
Oh no. I'm no, I was just listening, but what I wanted to circle back to. Hold on, I'm gonna roll the tape just because. But
Hold on, if I may, right quick. So, Al Boogie says that's a lot of explaining. Just say you like lying to. I don't like lying to anybody. However, if it's a means to an end, yes I do. If I meet a chick, with two kids and I'm not feeling the kids, and they say something like, yeah, this one. So,
she's only on there for a second, and you often I can't hear you.
oh, you can't hear me?
Oh wait, no, there you go.
Yeah.
But no, okay. Well, I mean, okay. I see Al Boogie is trying to call you on that lion. Now, I got some disagreement with the
No,
lion, like, and
no,
put it
no,
like,
no, no, fellas, you
no.
listen to me and you listen to me good. You
All
know,
right, go ahead, go ahead.
You ever hear the term all in spare and love in war? And notice how they say love first? Fuck this truth stuff.
I no, I'm not. For me, it ain't even. I'm an honest man, and I'm going to tell the truth because I'm just this great guy. It ain't that. Like I said, I'm what ARC would call. I've been what ARC would call mode 2. I would, that it's more of a vague and
What I
ambiguous
described is
thing. But if
mode
she,
two.
but hold on, but real quick, if a chick tried to, if I'm just coming for a woman on some, if I'm, just only see her casually, and then that's a weird thing because I mean, you could see a woman only. I mean, every woman you see, I mean, you initially walk up to her and approach her, you are thinking, you want to have sex with her, you want to have casual sex with her. I mean, you don't start viewing her as a potential relationship into, that comes later for us. So every chick is a casual relationship, and every chick, I mean, not every chick, but I mean, if you're attracted to her, depending on how she conduct herself in the next few months, then maybe. So a relationship could possibly happen out of that. Now, if you're just saying that, maybe, if you're just saying that, but it's still kind of unlikely, but maybe,
No, that's
then
exactly what I was saying, Bernard. So you
all
said
right,
you
well, okay,
said
well, but hold on, you don't explain it like that, and that's why I specifically said, are you looking that woman in the eyes and saying, yes, I am looking for a relationship,
I
an emotionally profound, long-lasting relationship, and I'm interested in that, and I see that possibility with you. That's what I'm saying. And
oh
then
no,
and then
no, no.
and then and
I'll
then,
leave
and
out
then
that
when you
last
hold
part.
on, let me lay it out, and then you get to sex, and you're like, gotcha, bitch.
No,
That
no,
part
no.
right
Here's the
there, I can't
okay.
I can't get jiggy with that.
Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Everything but the last part, because I didn't say the last part. Like I see that with you, I omit that part. However, if I were to say I see that with you, I would mean it would mean like in the remote possibility, like in an extremely remote possibility, like anything could happen type deal. Then yes, I probably would say I see that with you. Take her for example. Suppose she just, it's like I see that with you if you grow an extra titty. If you had a third titty, or you went through a surgery or something that granted you a third titty, then yes, I would maybe hook up with you and your kids, and you lose a few. You lose a few pounds and you gain a third titty. Then yeah, I see that with you. Now, oh, but he says something. Hold on. The lion means you're not man enough to get what you're asking for. So fucking what? So fucking what? You think that I measure manhood in pussy? You are sorely mistaken, sir. If you are under the impression that I measure my manhood in any way, shape, or form that's related to pussy at all, you think that, I walk up to a chick and say, I want you to suck my dick and she suck it. I feel more like a man? No, no. I feel like a man that's got his
Game
dick
changer.
sucked.
Game changer. Why did you do like a bad Alan Roger Curry impression
Because
when you
it's the
said
only one
that?
I know. It's the only impression I know how to do.
When you do an ARC impression, you sound like, because ARC sound like Bill Cosby to me, but when you do an ARC impression, you sound like Richard Pryor trying to do a Bill Cosby impression. That's what you sound like right there.
Oh yeah, that's all I can
Or
do.
Bill Cosby trying to do Richard Pryor. I don't know. One or the other.
That's all. But you knew who I was talking about. You
Yeah,
knew who I was
man.
talking about.
And listen. Okay, let me just acknowledge what I always acknowledge when having these type of conversations. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to have them without directly or indirectly shouting out ARC. So shout out to him. Mode one, the possibility of sex. Classics. But it's not. It
No,
sounds like
no,
you're
no,
taking
no.
shots. Don't know. Don't
No,
let's
it's
not.
not.
Let's
It's
not.
not taking shots.
All
It's not
right.
taking shots because it works for him. It works for him, and it works for him. You see, he gets it so good that he playing games with it. He's like one of those. See, we had a well, everybody's familiar with and one.
Mm-hmm.
So there comes a point where you're so good at shit, basketball, to where you start playing games with it. You start doing all kind of fancy tricks and stuff like that, and blah blah blah, and you do all this the fancy handles and all that stuff. We used to have teams like that out here during Hoop It Up, and I went for the chicks. I'm not in basketball, right? So yeah, we have those types of people who have mastered the art of basketballing so much that it's become a game to him. ARC is a person who has mastered the art of gathering ass so much that it has become a game to him. He's like, okay, now I'm gonna do it behind my back with a blindfold, one-handed, like, or a hand tied behind.
That's a
That's what
good
he's
point.
doing. Fuck that, nigga. I'm trying to win. Fuck what you are doing. I'm trying to win this game. Your fancy tricks. What the hell? That's you. I'm me. I'm trying to win. I'm trying to score points and I'm trying to dribble the ball properly. Sometimes I use two hands.
Yeah, you know
So
what? I heard a dude say this one time. He was like, and keep in mind, he wasn't looking for no relationship. He was on some casual hookup shit, but he was like, yeah, I don't like a chick that make it too easy for me. That turned me off when she make it too easy for me. I like a challenge. And I'm like, dude, you getting more pussy than what you even know what to do with if you saying you don't want a chick that makes it easy. Like, so I understand where you're coming from. Like those, yeah, that does sound like dudes who got it like that problems. I mean, listen, I've had some chicks make it easy for me. I have, and it was, hey, I had no complaints because I know the struggle of having to roll up your sleeves out there single. Got to get out there and make it happen. But but I can't. Phone ringing. Okay, I'm sorry, but no, a full blown blatant, bold faced lie. I can't do that. I can't do that. But I have gotten on some on some. See, when you're being vague and ambiguous about it, you really don't even. It's amazing how the stuff it barely comes up.
it does. It doesn't. I mean, it
Yeah,
doesn't come up.
that's hold on, but real quick, that's my main thing with it. It don't come up. It's like you met her, you like her, she like you. Y'all get together, y'all go out, y'all hang out. Y'all don't really discuss that. You invite her to your house, y'all still haven't discussed it, and then y'all start proceeding forward. You was being a little sexual, a little seductive when y'all was out. You get a little more sexual and seductive when she at your place, and then you know how women always say one thing lead to another. And in my experience, that was how I did it. It just smooth walked into a one way, one thing led to another place. But then there are times where it would get to a certain point where, I will get, verbally direct and stern, but it depends. I think I got more to the point to where being more direct, I don't know. There's times I'm trying to really think back that I did get to the point where being more direct did get, I don't know. It put it on the table and it saved some time. Put it like that. I would certainly say that it saved some time, but far as just overall blunt, forceful, out the blue with it, it's like no. It builds up to that for me. For me, that was how I operated it. But no, to have that game where you've known somebody for 5 minutes. I'm not saying that it can't be done. I'm saying this is very personal. I have never had that fast, quick hitting game where in the first 5 minutes I could consistently put an offer on the table, and it not come off clumsy, So that's something, that's a skill. Put it like this, that's a skill, and
No,
some people
it
got it.
is. It is.
Yeah.
But it's also one to be used when necessary. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like
I've used it.
sometimes.
I've used it in necessary
Yeah,
situations before.
exactly. Sometimes mode one is applicable. Sometimes mode two is applicable. Whatever works. But I mean, but to Al Boogie's point, measuring your manhood about what mode you use to get the pussy, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. That has nothing to do with manhood unless you want your manhood determined by women. And I don't. So fuck it. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna put rules to a game that doesn't have any rules. I'm talking about in hookup culture. I'm not gonna put rules to games that don't have any rules. You think they're doing that?
No, but El Boogie dropped a comment right there. I'm gonna read that one in a second. But RM, if you haven't already, drop the links to ARC's books in the chat room. We're gonna be talking about the man books. Hopefully, somebody go over there, click over there, make a purchase if we're talking about. We ain't actually talking about his books. We talking about some of the concepts in his books. Only fair that is okay. I just scrolled up and I see that you did have his link in there. Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead and drop it some more. Shout out to ARC, but Hold on, wait. First, before we get to Al Boogie, let's see. He said these hyenas saying they didn't want marriage anyway is like, oh wait, I did read that one. It's like it's like saying they didn't want a gold medal, neither were ever in reach. Shout out to Freedman's Journal. But Al Boogie says chicks know the moment they meet you where you fit, up to the man to recognize it and act accordingly. It's obviously truth in that where they could look at you and tell if they find you attractive. They know if they would have sex with you. They don't know if they're going to have sex with you. You could say something to mess it up. You could say something to speed up the process. And if you, in a clumsy way, put a hard offer right on the table, that could mess it up. If you take too long, but if you take too long in a clumsy way, not putting the offer on the table, that could mess things up too. So it goes either way. Yeah, they know where they categorize you, but yeah, how you move going forward will determine whether or not you're going to land that plane or not. And there's no one size fits all way to do it with every chick. But one thing I do say, and it's probably better to develop a strategy where you, and it varies. It varies. So that's why I say I'll never be a dating coach. But there, some people like to call heads every time when it comes to certain things. I'm going to do this every single time, and the chicks that mess with me are the ones who just going to be receptive to what I do every time. Because if you're trying to read this chick and you do something a little different because this chick did this, now you're doing that, and then now you're, now it's a situation where you're calling heads sometimes and calling tails sometimes. And if you call heads every time, you can increase your probabilities of it landing on heads. So that's the problem when you're trying to read the chick and adjust to her versus just going for what you know, however you're gonna do it and just do it. So it's a lot of ways. It's a lot of ways to it, a lot of ways around it. But like I say, with the parts of game that matter the most is a lot of times, and this is something I've always said. This is why you say you talking about game, Bernard, LMAO. What's wrong with that? I mean, why is that a LMAO with like 7 O's? You said that as if I'm some anti-game person. No, I've said plenty of times game matters. Like y'all be saying weird stuff.
I know.
Like that is weird. You talking about game, Bernard? Laughing my ass off.
It is. It's the conversation went down, a strange rabbit hole, and full, shame on me for reading the chat. I'm gonna just say this. Cold Steel, D Weeze, Al Boogie, and all of you, listen. Go on the Pineapple Show. Go on the Pineapple Show in mode 1 and shout me out while you're on there, and tell me how that works out for you. I would love to see this. I would love to see this in action. I would love to see you go on the Pineapple Show and say, "I want you to suck my dick." And
I see now. Hold on, GC. That's not fair for you to say that, because don't just call mode 1 just strictly doing that.
No, that's what's called atomic mode 1. But however,
hardcore.
Yeah, hardcore mode 1. Yeah, thank you. However, mention within the first couple of minutes of the conversation, if she's willing to have a conversation with you for a couple of minutes, that I want to fuck. In whatever way that you like to politely put it out there, like, what that thing do? However you want.
That's hardcore. That's hardcore. Okay, are you telling me you've never did this? Because this would be considered mode 1 if you make it clear that, hey, I'm not interested in a long-term relationship, or just basically make it clear the things that you're not interested in, that you're single, you're happy being single, you're not interested in a long-term relationship. Just basically eliminate everything except of a short-term, casual situation. Like you've never made that clear relatively early on. Like you could do that without being graphic.
Yeah, you can, and I have. Granted.
It's all right. So there it is. So we're all direct sometimes.
However,
but some people.
I get it. And I said when the situation warrants it. However, there are people there that say if you don't use mode 1, you have no backbone. I'm like, wait, what the hell? I do not. I go off of the situation and what's strategically advantageous at that situation in time. I don't limit myself to only one mode. That's ridiculous. That's like a boxer saying, "Hey, yeah, if you don't use jabs all the time, then you can't fight." That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That's like a football team saying, "Hey, if you're not always passing, then you're a shitty team." That is ridiculous. You can't just use one tactic at all. I know I determine what tactic is best and then I act accordingly, as I recommend every person should. And because every situation is so dynamic, it's very difficult to teach. Now, people
I
like
agree with that.
ARC and things like that. Listen, I just said I entered this panel saying that women fuck up. And if you are at the top of what women fuck, then you could pretty much say anything. You could pretty much fucking say anything if you're at the top. So granted, Al Boogie, if you at the top, if you're a 9, you could say any fucking thing you want to 6s. You could say, and don't get me wrong, congratulations for being a 9. But yes, they're still fucking up and you're still fucking down. And you could say I'm a man because I said anything I wanted to this bitch, but she's still a fucking 6. Okay? She's still a 6.5. And you're fucking down and she's fucking up. That and be proud of that shit. Be proud. If you're a 9 and you walk up to a 6 and you just say something ridiculous like, I want to show you the edge of the world because I know it's flat, bitch. And she said, yes, daddy, because you're the finest person that'll ever fuck her, then go for it. I say go for it. If you're a Detroit Lion and she's an alley cat, I say go for it. Go for it. But these are the circumstances that those things indefinitely works.
Yeah, L Boogie. The reason I responded like that when you said you talking about Game Bernard LMAO, that was like an implication that I wasn't supposed to be talking about it. That plants the seed in the mind of the listener that I was somebody who's been a critic of it. So it's like why would you put that? I didn't get the joke, so no. I mean, it reeked of one of those things that people do disingenuously just to try to throw off a chat room because niggas do that because niggas like to nigga. So anyway,
no, what the hell is you? Are you some type of guardian of hoes getting lied to? The fuck?
what's going on here? Are you talking about right here?
Yeah.
Why are you equating not lying to hoes for mode? Okay, why the fuck are you equating not lying to hoes for mode 1? Never mind, this nigga must be working.
No, that's because of the analogy that you gave, which was lying, for direct approach or sex or relationship, your relationship intention, because that's what mode 1 is all about. However, if you want to know if I have or would lie for pussy, the answer is yes, and fuck it, they deserve it. Fuck you for wanting stupid shit, okay? Fuck you. If you say something like I only fuck Leos, and then I say I'm a Leo, chances are I'm a lion. And Leo lion. Yeah.
Fugitive.
Yes, I am a Leo because I'm lying right now. Yeah, I'm a Scorpio on your ass. Just got stung. You got stung for saying and doing stupid shit. Okay.
But hold on,
if you say
real
I only
quick,
fuck niggas that love Medea, and I want to fuck you, then I'll say I love Medea. You're stupid. You're stupid for having such stupid criteria. So yes, you get what you deserve. I would lie.
All right. What Al Boogie is saying right there, and shout out to Al Boogie, channel member. I appreciate it. Like I say to everybody, all the live shows go straight to Patreon and to members nowadays. So make sure that you become a Patreon or a member. So if just in case you missed the live shows, Al Boogie is a member and a Patreon, if I'm not mistaken. So he'll be getting the live shows. But shout out to him. Well, I understand what he's saying right there, and this is one thing that people get mixed up, even just taking mode 1 out of it. Because I mean, shout out to ARC. His books. Possibility of Sex is my favorite. That's in the RM got that one in the chat room. Go check it out. Click the link, make a purchase. But Al Boogie is saying, why the F are you equating not lying to hoes to mode 1. Okay, this is that is what mode 1 is about. It is about being direct, and to be direct is to not lie. The only thing is, some people do look at it as a moral thing, like be a good person and don't lie. But really, the people who put a major emphasis on not lying, they saying it's not for her, it's for you. Because if you're upfront and you lay it all out there, you're going to get exactly what you want. You're going to get the exact terms and conditions that you put on the table. She agreed to it, and everything goes off without a hitch. That's what it's about. It's for you. So I mean, so that's one thing people debate about unnecessarily in this space, where they try to say people that say don't lie are basically saying be good little boys, which they really not. They're just saying, stand on your square. But at the end of the game, at the end of the day, game changer is basically saying it ain't a square. It's what's one of them things with a whole bunch of different sides on it, and it's on a wobbly plane. So I mean, so that's why he's like, if they say I only mess with Leos, like, yeah, when you said something so stupid, okay, I'll be a Leo. God damn it.
Yeah.
So I get it, but the there's an aspect of the being of the blunt, bold, what ARC would call mode 3 thing is I I wouldn't do that. I think I kind of did that like once or twice, and it felt like shit, and I was like, nah, I ain't doing that no more.
Okay,
But
Leo
anyway,
said you don't have to lie nowadays. Listen. If I want to, I will. It's not a matter of having to. If I fuck 99 bitches this year and I want to make it 100 and one of them say I only fuck Leos, then guess what? I'm a lie. What in the fuck is wrong with you morality niggas? What in the hell is wrong with y'all?
well, that was the thing I just broached. Is it morality? Are they talking about morality, or are they talking about for you and your own purposes not lying?
I
That's the
don't know
thing.
what
I
they
don't I
talking
don't I
about.
don't view these.
I
Hold on, wait,
will say this.
real quick. I don't view these dudes as just these moral these arbiters of moral goodness. So it's a different reason why they're saying don't lie.
I think they are. I
I don't
think
think they're
that
being
these are
arbiters
some
of moral
Gandhi
goodness.
Luther King niggas that are out trying to protect hoes' vaginas from my lying penis. What in the hell is up with that? Don't you know that these chicks, they be going to sites and stuff? That they be going to sites learning and practicing how to Brittany Renner niggas, and y'all talking about not lying. The fuck out of here.
That's what I'm saying. Is it not lying for you, or is it just for your good moral goodness of being good for goodness sake while pumping and dumping hoes? It's like it's almost so it's like it's like it turns into the don't lie thing turns into a weird thing. I
No,
hate
we're gonna get
okay. Wait,
niggas head. No, no, no,
real
right
quick.
quick. No,
Wait, time out,
let
Let
me
me go
finish
first.
please, please,
Let me
please,
hold on.
please.
Wait, no, please. No, I gotta go first on this. I hate when people say y'all when like me and Game Changer are technically on separate sides of this argument, having a respectful disagreement, but reaching across the aisle in certain points. But the one who's saying something pretty hardcore, that's GC. All right. So I hate when y'all that's why I had to say something to you about that game comment. Y'all don't have the wherewithal to understand the individual that is talking, and y'all say y'all, or like you pointed out the other day, Game Changer, is people one person who do it a lot, but it's people who always say them niggas, and then okay, am I included in them niggas? You gotta try to figure out who's all included in them niggas. They said this and they said that, and y'all get on my nerves with that. Y'all get on my nerves with that. Be specific. Be specific in who you're talking about, Al Boogie. Be specific on who's saying what. Okay, there's only two people talking. If you're not talking about me, you're saying Game Changer. So your comment should have read Game Changer
Yeah.
going to get niggas' head blown off just to get some pussy. That's what the comment should have said. I'm just calling for y'all to speak properly. That's all I'm asking. That's not a lot.
Oh God. Oh God. Typically, the dudes that get their head blown off aren't the ones that lie, or they're the ones that get lied on. You know, like that's who get their head blown off. Guys who lie typically get their head blown. Okay, how y'all know something? Do you? Do you? Okay, do you? If you are a guy that makes $99,999.99 a year, and a chick say, "Are you six figures?" and you say no, more power to you. More power to you for being that dude. You know, you have a round of applause for me. You know, if you are that dude that has a dick that's 8 inches in a corner, and they say I only deal with 9 inches, and you don't stretch it and lie, then that shit is on you. That shit is on you. If you are that dude that is 5'11" and 3/4, and she say I only fuck dudes that are 6 foot tall, that shit is on you. Go ahead and do you.
I don't see nothing wrong with a little white lie.
Exactly.
I don't see nothing wrong with a little white
And
lie,
white
but
dudes
I
don't
do
either.
get
That's why they wear that shit.
I do. I don't see nothing wrong with a little white lie, but I get the feeling that you will tell a big black lie if
No, I
need
don't
be.
tell
But
big black lies. No. The zodiac thing is one. I'm not one for the huge ones. You know, I'm not one for the huge lies, the huge elaborate stunts. You know, um, yeah, that's not me.
all
For
right.
example, chicks say, do you like do you like to go scuba diving or something like that? I would say no. You know, however, if I'm like one little white lie away from something and I know I'm not going to yeah, then not. And if you're a dude that's 29 and a half and she say I only mess with dudes in their 30s, and go ahead and do you. I know lies get exposed. That's why it's pump and dump. That's why by the time they realize it's over, the dump has already occurred. What, you
You
think I'm
know,
gonna celebrate my birthday with a chick that I told was a Leo, that I was a Leo? Well, I'm gonna have a fake birthday. I'm gonna marry the bitch, and then every year have a fake birthday party. I know it's gonna get exposed. That's why it's a pump and dump. That's why it's done in hookup culture.
he didn't turn me. I said vague and ambiguous. I've said I've always been a proponent of being vague out there. I've always said that. That ain't nothing new.
Somebody said no one should respect a pump and dump dude. So what? You just stay with women that you pump? Each and every single woman that you pumped, you stayed with? You like the general. That's why you married 3 times. Each and every single woman you pumped, you stayed with. What?
Who you talking to?
Somebody say, nobody should respect a pump and dump. Dude, listen, every now and again you pump and you gotta dump.
Okay, see, this is how I always define pump and dump as just casual sex.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's how I always defined it. It's not nothing that I think every man should operate in and do for his entire life, but through a period in your life when you're single, just keeping it casual with chicks while being, on your purpose, chasing your dreams, building yourself up, doing what you got to do to build yourself, but get something casual here and there. I mean, if it don't, for me, the dump occurs when I did a stream a long time ago. One of my earlier streams, I said women pump and dump too. I think they pump and dump more than men. I mean, a pump and dump takes place when two people are having casual sex, and then when one person, after a couple, 2-3 times of sex or whatever, one person sends a text message, the other person don't reply to it. That person has essentially pumped and dumped the other person, and that happens more so with women not replying to that text than what it is men not replying to that last text. So women pump and dump just as much as men, and pump and dump for me is just simply casual sex. Now, if you're saying that you are anti-casual sex, then hey, good for you. I hope hopefully you're in a happy marriage or long-term relationship or something right now. But I don't believe that you are anti-casual sex. You just probably anti the name pump and dump, because it does make it sound like the man is doing something bad to an innocent, unsuspecting woman. That's how it sounds. But in reality, in a hookup culture where both sides are complicit and both people are agreeing to hook up and have casual sex, ending a casual sexual arrangement is not a criminal act. I will always stand on that. So
Yeah.
no.
No, I agree. And that's why when I talked about the cons of hookup culture, that wasn't one of them, because that's just the nature of hookup culture. So somebody says something interesting. Shock G says, um, let's see, Nabinar, the Simps don't ruin manhood. Cap is what's ruining manhood. What the hell? Okay. And let's see, there are too many dudes out here lying and pretending to be something that they are not built for. Okay, point me to those dudes. I mean, are you saying I'm not built for being a Leo? What the fuck? Is that what you're saying? Like, oh, you out here pretending to be a Leo, but you're not built for it. You're not built for somebody that was born this year. Is that what the fuck you're saying? Because if so, okay, I'll stay away from that zodiac because I'm not built for that shit. You know, I'm not built for this. So basically, you're telling me that if I go to prison and there's a gang of Leos here, they say, nah, nigga, you ain't built for this. I see your fake ass. You ain't a Leo. I'm like, you're right. You're right. I'll go over to my zodiac. I apologize. I'm not built for that shit. What in the fuck are you talking about? What in the hell are you talking about?
There's a lot of random internet dudes that capture strangers for no reason. It's mind-boggling.
Well, I don't know what you're talking about. I will say that the reason that in my scenarios that I brought up was to fuck. So there isn't no reason. That's the reason.
When it comes to being direct, I think this is where it gets weird, and I think people overthink it in the conversation. I think people overthink it in the conversation. Like I a lot of people with their head on straight well now I won't say with their head on straight. A lot of people will view this as direct. I think ARC would disagree with this. I think a lot of people view as direct if a guy essentially meets a woman, talks to her, they have a good, I hate the term, good chemistry, they get along well, and he invite her over to the house. You invited her over to the house. And while over there, you start making moves on her. I think most people will call that direct. I didn't lie to her. I think a lot of people have, heard ARC talk about being mode one and direct and saying, no, you have to be upfront, blunt, and tell her why you're inviting her over to the house. I don't think most of y'all do that. I think most of y'all just invite her over and then make your moves. I don't think most of y'all are doing it exactly that direct. But y'all are criticizing the person who says, no, I don't do it that direct. I keep it vague. I just invite her over. Oh, well, you ain't no real man. It's like, I don't think y'all even doing it like that. So that's where I think the conversation just gets weird, where people are just, having a conversation. I mean, there's something to being direct. There's something to being upfront and making sure that all the terms, especially in this Me Too culture, making sure that all the terms and conditions are laid out perfectly. But I think a lot of y'all that are saying that y'all do that, I do think a lot of y'all are capping. And
Oh, yeah.
that's where, I think a lot of y'all are capping and ain't really about that life. I think y'all do quite naturally what I do and what most men do, and that's just invite her over. that's what most of y'all do.
Yeah. Like, hey, would you like to come over for coffee or Netflix or something like that? That's what most regular people do. But I mean, and dude was right. People do come online to cap for no reason, because that is no reason. I don't know who you want to impress with stuff like that. I really don't.
All right, this is probably the last thing I'm going to talk about because we at the 3 hour mark and I need to eat and stuff. But overall, David Miner is saying something, and this is worth pointing out. Casual sex and pump and dump are different. I don't think they are, even though from a very technical standpoint, if you look up the word dump, to dump somebody is to abruptly and unexpectedly do something. Okay. It's to abruptly or unexpectedly end an arrangement of some sort. Here's the catch. When casual sex starts happening and it wasn't the casual sex wasn't agreed upon in any specific terms and conditions, is you're unexpectedly and abruptly ending something that didn't have a formal clear definition or destination to begin with. So it's hard to say that you're dumping somebody if a clear destination was never even laid out on the table to begin with. So that's why I lumped them together as the same thing. So to me, casual sex and pump and dump, it is essentially the same thing. That's where I'm at with it. But I understand some people view it differently. So when some people say, no, you should never pump and dump, it's like, to me, you're just saying you should never have casual sex with a woman. And then you ask that person, are you having casual sex with anybody right now? I got a rotation of 5 bitches. Then that means you are casual sexing and pumping and dumping. They ain't gonna be in your rotation for life. Shit. Okay, Code Still in the building says mode 1 always works to let you know how interested the woman is. That's true. I'll give that. No, that's true. Then can you use verbal seduction to turn a maybe into a yes? It's closing the deal. Mode 1 is an effective way of letting you know how interested she is right then there.
Exactly. It protects you from being strung along.
Yeah, no doubt.
And if you feel that you're being strung along, I say go for that. Definitely, because there are women who do waste a lot of people's time. They're just out for attention. Your attention.
Yeah, it does. It is your defense against attention whores.
Right.
It is. It is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I remember one time I was being too indirect. And the chick, she wasn't feeling me, but she loved coming around and being around, and even coming to my house, but she wasn't feeling me at all for whatever reason. And then once I got real direct and up front, like all this time we spending together, if we ain't fucking, don't none of this make sense. I basically flat out told her that. And poof, be gone. She disappeared. I was like, damn. Should have said that a long time ago. Would have saved a lot of time, effort, energy, and money. So for that, mode 1 is absolutely 100% effective. So yeah,
okay.
But we're gonna close it out.
Says, I'm not trying to convince a woman that I'm something that I'm not, but I get GC's point of view. Thank you, because I'm not either. Do I walk around, with gold teeth, pretending to be a Crip or some shit like that? Like, I mean, am I advocating that anybody do something like that? No, I'm not. Do I walk around? Shout out to Peter Griffin. Do I walk around with an astronaut cowboy uniform on saying I'm an astronaut cowboy? Like, no, I don't do crap like that. But no, if you have something extraordinarily arbitrary, then yeah, I would. Like, I mean, and fuck it. And fuck you for having such an arbitrary thing going on here, in your life.
All right. And with that said, we're at the 3 hour mark. We are out of here. Like I always say, all the live shows go straight to Patreon. The last 2 live shows that went there, I actually wanted to leave those up because some crazy stuff happened. But if you want to see that crazy stuff, it's on Patreon and it's on members. Go check it out. Become a member. Happy Father's Day. Thanks for reminding me of that. Happy Father's Day. And like I said, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? It was something else I wanted to say. Fuck it. I had to say it on the next show. With that said, we are out of here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, that was one that was on my mind too. Yeah. RM did a nice little tribute, Father's Day tribute. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. Click on that one. Like I always try to get y'all to click on one of my videos when you're on the way out of here. Click on that one on the way out of here. Click on that one on the way out of here. And check out the Patreon. Go to the Patreon. That's what the video is going to be. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we are out of here. Peace. We gone.